Good morning and welcome to the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club to Qualifier race number 2 for July in 2025. Can't quite believe I'm saying 2025. I remember when we were in the other millennium. I'm not that old, really. Well, I am. Matt Payne here with Emma Martin in the studios, bringing you all of the race action, putting words to the action, as well as, no doubt, some slight discussion on points between Emma and myself. We haven't already managed to throw anything around the studio at each other, which is a minor miracle at this stage of production, but you never know. It may yet happen. I'll advise you if it hurt. Let's dive into today's racing. Emma, we are going to Belgium. It's Fritz and mayonnaise, waffles all the way, a few cobbles thrown in. It's a classic course.
It is, and I love it when we go to Belgium on the Sunday Race Club. The women are here today, 35 kilometres of racing, 324 metres of climbing. They come out the start pen, flat first 6 kilometres through the Ghent City Sprint. Then we hit the Qualifier, 3.9 kilometres. Average gradient, 2.5%. Deceptive, that first climb goes to 17% before we drop and climb again. Then we descend through the Tissenhoven-Malvern Sprint, up the Valkenburg climb at 1.3 kilometres at 4%. We transition over the reservoir at the top, then down into the Eichenberg Hill, which runs into the Eichenberg climb. Only the climb is categorised in the climbing competition today. We drop off the end of that, and it's a 6 kilometre run from the top of the Eichenberg climb to the finish line today. All I can say, expect a sprint.
And today, as we run into that finish, we are expecting groups to come slightly back together again, but this is generally a race that fractures. The Qualifier itself, always an instrumental point with that first steep section, followed by the downhill where you get a regroup, carry momentum into the top of the climb, and that last little kicker to come around that sharp left-hand bend. Always entertaining. Along the way, the points competitions for the sprints and the climbs, 5 points for the win, down to 1.4 fifth place in each of our 6 race categories. Category 6, our standard category, going first. Category 5, 5 minutes after that. 4, 5 minutes after that. 3, 5 minutes after that. Then a 10-minute gap to category 2, followed by a 5-minute gap to category 1. 6 race categories in both our women's and men's races. Women's race first, followed by the men's. Women are in Belgium. Category 6 are lined up ready to go, and this is going to be an absolute cracker. Now, we have with us the Kitty Hawk Racing teams. Now, they have 2 team captains here, Jessica Hamilton, the sprint impresario herself, the Kitty Hawk Racing Moonpool representative, and Melissa Scriven of Kitty Hawk Racing Skyclaw. Rachel Hooker is going to be representing Level Phoenix today, but remember, this is just a mere taster of the teams ready for our finals.
Yes, it is indeed. And on the start sheets today, Trudy Stevenson took 2nd place last week. Juliet Navarez took 4th. Angie Solorzano took 5th. There's 27 riders on the start sheets in Category 6. It's going to be a good race. 1 or 2 new riders in there. Hannah Hermansen joining the Sunday Race Club. Welcome to Sundays. Welcome to Belgium. It's going to be a cracker of a first ride on the Sunday Race Club. 178 women on the start sheets overall today. As away go Category 6, up and out of the start pen and out onto the course here in Belgium. Now, this is the 3rd time we've used the Belgium course this year. The first outing it had in 2025 was on the 2nd of March, where Kate McCarthy took the win in 53 minutes 45 seconds in Category 1. She also took the win the 2nd time out on the 11th of May, 55 minutes and 3 seconds. This is the 3rd time out. Can she do 3 times lucky in Category 1? The record, she doesn't hold the course record. The course record is held by Catherine Fua, 53 minutes, 15 seconds. Set in March 24, not been broken since.
And different dynamics now, different sizes of packs. So as with anything, any comparison going back over the ages is difficult. Is Marianne Vos better than Beryl Burton? Is Leontine Van Moorsel a better sprinter than Annick van Vleuten or maybe Lorena Vives? Who knows? We will have to judge each on their merit at the time of racing, I think, particularly when we have such dynamic changes to the categories and, of course, to the dynamics in the racing and how the draft is.
We're talking about new riders. Randa Kahul is the rider on the front of the pack.
Straight in, straight onto the front. Fantastic to see. And Algeria, Algerian flag.
Yes, great to see riders from all over the world. Susanna Lopez is in 2, Adriana Barco 3, Jacqueline Kirchner, Monica Hadjuk is there, Fanuch Sarasuk is there. The riders from all over the world, from Brazil to Colombia to Scotland to Poland, you name it, there's probably someone from the Sunday Race Club here.
Indeed, somewhere scattered across all 6 categories in the men's and women's races. We do pretty much span the globe, one big cycling family. And very early in the show, whilst our riders are approaching the first sprint, which is in Ghent, I'm just going to do a slight aside here and say congratulations to Bart van den Dries, who is back on the bike now. A lot of people will know Bart. He's one of the key figures that people will have met if they've ever been to anything to do with MyWhoosh over the last, I don't know how long, like forever. And Bart had a big accident on his mountain bike, and we saw him back with his crew, with the family that he rides with, his mountain biking team and road team. He was out on the road bike on his favourite track, which is the Yas Marina track, and it was fantastic to see him. So congratulations, Bart, for getting back on that bike and out and riding, and continue well with the recovery.
Can I just say,
a number of us have been laid on the floor with
determination,
injuries, but they were pretty good.
Motivation and commitment, skills for cycling, but also skills for life.
Yes, indeed. So worth bearing in mind, because everybody suffers setback of one way or another at some point in their life. You're very lucky if you can just keep on sailing through with nary a worry. Well, there you go. That's an old phrase, nary a worry.
It is, isn't it?
There you are, oldenglishphrases.com.
Well, Category 6 riders are coming up to the Ghent City Sprint. It's the first sprint of the day. 2 categorised sprints. Yes, just 2 categorised sprints on the Belgium course. And these riders about to head through here. Now, my sprinty radar is telling me that Jessica Hamilton is in that pack somewhere, probably towards the back of it, and she's possibly pushing on. But we will see. We're in with Angie Solazano at the moment. She's up and out of the saddle and pushing on here as we come through. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, but Jessica Hamilton has gone through the pack and over the top. So my sprinty radar may well be correct.
Indeed, clearly the sprint radar on the go. Jessica Hamilton claiming that jersey, as she seems to do with regularity now pretty much every week, although not necessarily figuring in the overall race results. Definitely a rider who we always have to watch when it comes to the sprints. The rest of the riders picking up the pace, and we saw that with Angie Solazano, to stay with the group as it speeds up through that section. Will we see the same in Category 5, our first step up from Category 6? We'll have to see if Amber Johnson of the Level Cycling Warriors from the United States of America is going to be the rider who does that. Just the one team represented here today in qualifier number 2. If you're not regular on the Sunday Race Club, the qualifiers, no team prizes. So a lot of people just keep that name on the way through, represent their team proudly. And I was always proud to represent whatever race team I was racing for, whether it was for competition or not. I proudly wear those colours. So we do love it if you do put your team names in. Please do get them in early. It does help us. It helps the team. And it means that we get to recognise you and your teams a bit earlier. Let's keep our eye on Category 5. They're about to head out from the pens. The second of our race categories are away. And Emma, this is an interesting race field for me now, Category 5. That first step from 6, and yeah, it's not cynical. It's got a lot of joie de vivre.
It does have. That's a great phrase for Category 5.
I swallowed a dictionary or two this morning.
Joie de vivre. It has got some phenomenal characters and some great racing and some great competitions, because not only are they competing for the top spot, they're competing against each other and against themselves throughout the pack. And they're competing in that sprint competition as well, which is always a hot one in Category 5, and in those climbs. Now, we don't have the top riders from last week, because Catherine Tompkinson, she's gone up. She took the win last week, and she's gone up to Category 4 this week, which is great to see. Fu and Wilhelm aren't here either. They took 2nd and 3rd last week. And of course, 3 qualifiers this week. The riders have to have 2 verified rides to compete in a team in the final. So some riders choosing to take a break at some point in the month. Brooke Samuel, she's not taking a break. She is right in the mix at the moment. And we can see her on her bike down there in the Pain Cave as well as in the pack. Giraldo and Almansori are around her. Isabel Giraldo is here. She took 4th place last week. Amy Sudabayo took 5th. She's on the start sheets along with 31 riders. Rachel Kennedy, Noveline Kokkonen, Nikki Lloyd, Natalia Idzik, ever dominant in that sprint competition. And we've seen her really push the climbing competition when they're short and sharp. For me, she has got to be one of the favourites in the pack in Belgium today, because these climbs really suit someone with the high power of a sprint. But we know she can climb because she has taken the climbing competition in the past. Zabala is here. Almond Sawyer is here. Warren Chudzekowicz, Katarina Ko, Jaskalainen is here. Zugala is here. There are some great, great names on this start sheet today, and I think Category 5 should be a good one.
I can't wait to see what happens as we go through the course of Belgium. This first sprint, first chance to gain prizes, and you can check out all of the prizes in the race manual. And you can get that by going on to MyWhoosh.com. Go to the event pages, and if you scroll to the general page, so don't look for the specific qualifier 1, 2, 3, 4 finals. Go a bit further down the page, you'll find the Sunday Race Club, the general event page for it. And in there, you can see all of the current prizes actually on that page. If you want even more detail, if you want to really geek out on the stats to take, all of the prerequisites for racing, told you I swallowed a dictionary this morning, then do that, and you can imbibe yourself with a full font of knowledge in terms of Sunday Race Club. It's going to be a long show for you, Emma, if I keep on doing this.
Oh, it's brilliant. I'm loving it.
Okay.
But you are correct. And one of the other things I love about that generic Sunday Race Club page is pretty early on in the month, all of the courses are up there. Right the way through. So we know already that the women next week will be on the Hederiot Ascend course. I like that one. It's fairly flat, and then it's a multi-stepped, a 9-stepped climb at the end. Natalia Idzik, well, she'll be climbing strongly today here in Belgium. She's on our screen at the moment, and she'll be lining herself up for that first sprint. She'll be positioning herself well towards the back of the bunch, and then she'll start to pick. Look at the cadence. The cadence is going up. That would be the first thing in terms of that sprint. Get that cadence up, get on top of the gear, really start to push and motor, come from the back of the group through the front of the group, utilize the draft. That is indeed what she's doing. Kennedy, Tejeros, Sugala. I tell you what, Narvaez is pushing as well today, as is Ferron, and it's going to be interesting to see where they come out. And it's Demi Atkins who comes out on top, Johanna Warren, Kristen Hamilton. I think after that first sprint, the churning of my brain cells may well be telling me it could be going for the win today.
Well, I kind of had much that same thought process going on, that we were just seeing Idzik moving up with the pace rather than going for the sprint. And I think, to be honest, on a course like this with so many short climbs, the climbs are very much sprint orientated. That is a good way to go. Will the Blitz Babes be sprinting up there, headed by Kawazuska? Will it be the Cycling District 4 team, headed by Santos? Will Schultz and Howeiler of the Pedal Queens be the riders to take it out in a big field, and almost our biggest field of the day in Category 4 on our start list here today? Category 4 means that we reach the halfway point with our third wave of riders about to leave the start. So you can already see riders starting to get that pace up, sprinting and getting the power down, making sure that you take off in this group and do not get distance. Really, really key.
Tompkinson has come up from Category 5 last week. The top 2 riders not here this week. So Gina Van Rossum, who took the win, and Geneva Ellos, who came through in second. Van Rossum also took the climbing competition. She's been climbing so well. Sorry, Gina, but I am going to say I do expect you to head towards Category 3 very soon. You are riding so strongly. But Angel Hadlock took third place. Isabella Restrepo took fourth. Philippa Hill took fifth. Tompkinson, as we said, has already come up from Cat 5, taking that win last week. Claudia Hyde took the sprint competition last week here. 33 riders. This is not quite our largest race field. Category 2 has the honours for that today. But Category 4 is going to be really good. Hannah Goodall normally goes well on this course. But there are new riders in the mix.
So I think this is our hardest to call race field almost.
Because, could be, yeah.
Along with potential categories. I think one of the reasons for that is because there are so many strong riders and so much movement up and down, because it is right in the middle in there. on a course like this, Gina DeGrazia, rider who can sprint, who can also climb. Catherine Zulaga, who's on our screens at the moment, another rider who I think has shown some great progression and really has shown that she can be in that mix. I'll watch out for Katie Atkins. I think I'll be watching out here for Salam Al-Kabi, Ciciola.
Yeah, well,
Always
Veronica
another rider,
Ciciola took the win here when we were here in May.
Yeah, and I'll tell you who else has been riding really well. I'm really impressed with Anne-Marie Guiney as well.
Yeah, she's been going really strongly, actually.
Yeah.
Catherine Montoya, we've just had her on our screen.
If we don't
She's
mention
in
you,
the
don't
mix
be
as well.
offended, please, because to be fair, we could read the whole list and read out a list of riders with awesome palmares who are all in with a chance here. I think that is kind of the lesson, isn't it? That whichever name we pick out of this huge phone book of riders, and in category 4, this huge page of names, everyone. I can't think. I'm looking at there thinking, there's nobody I would be surprised to take a top 5.
Ooh. Do
Nobody would
you know
surprise
who
me.
I tell you I think will go well today?
Go on.
One of our new riders, or newer riders,
Yep.
Keely Bennett,
Yep.
has come into the Sunday Race Club over the last few weeks and put in some really strong performances. And I know we haven't seen a lot of her because she's only been with us 3 or 4 weeks. But from what I've seen, this type of course could really suit her.
Yeah, I mean, she had a win in her first race, which was the finals in category 4 on Wollongong, and that's a course.
Short, sharp, steep, punchy climbs.
It is, and it's twice now. I think the first of our climbs, the Quarter Kia, is very similar in it's a 2-stage climb, but then you could almost treat the Eichenberg Hill and the Eichenberg Climb as a 2-stage climb in terms of racing. Another rider.
Never discount Angel Hadlock.
I tell you something. Angel Ann Hadlock is a winning machine. She is just an absolute winning machine. And when we talk about great riders across multiple disciplines, across riding on road, on esports, Hadlock is up there because she's phenomenal. The dedication that she puts into her training, her racing, and you can see the effort coming in here. Look at the power that's going down here, going for this sprint here today.
Yeah.
Real competitor, and this could force a break as well. That's what we've got to remember. If they keep pushing, this could take a group hook clear, and it can distance riders. A great way to stretch your legs as well on the way through. I bet that was close.
It was. Well, Emily Sopers had the green skin suit for a short while with a cracking sprint and beautiful positioning in the bunch from Veronica Ciciola. But Louisa Schultz came through late with an outstanding sprint average, 10.8 watts per kilo, 613 watts. Phenomenal effort from Schultz.
Superb kick. Now, as Category 6 are ascending the hills already, Category 3 away in the pens, and they're going to be heading out. The last of the 5-minute gaps between Category 4 and Category 3 about to come to an end, as Category 3 set off with Liana Silva of the Cycling District 3 team going away. Sunday Sweat heading out with Amy Bradley, and Team Golden Light with Golden Light. Oh, and there's a Full Speed Events TTT team in there, which is going to be headed up by the one and only Holly Bergin. Now, anybody that knows the commentary team well will know that we are Full Speed Events, but if you ride for our team, do not expect special treatment other than getting even more stick and even more jocular fun aimed in your direction.
But if you want to come and join the team time trials, just let us know. Well, Holly Bergin is in the mix, and she did indeed time trial this week. I time trialed with Holly on Thursday evening.
Did you indeed?
Yes, Holly, Dave,
let's get this over. Let's get this over and done
team
with.
Time trial. It was cracking fun, and in fact, 4 teams we've got running across the week, and everybody really enjoying the community.
So, just team time trials. So, team time trial. You ride as a team.
Yes.
Your
third rider is the counter.
Is the counter that goes across. You've got to get that third rider across the line in as fast a time as possible with 3 to count. And what's the point? Tell me, why as Full Speed Events? Have we got Full Speed Events time teams?
Well, both Holly and I are doing
What's the point?
Are doing live coaching, and we have been live coaching on MyWhoosh, and it's just really an extension of that. It's about another vehicle, another way, to enhance the community and to get to know each other, but also to learn. And team time trialing is a fantastic way to learn positioning. It's a fantastic way to learn to ride and use the draft and to trust the draft. And I tell you something, one of the things that I've been I've been learning is how strong the draft actually is in the team time time trial on MyWhoosh, and about where you sit and where you position and what you can hold on third wheel, what you can hold on fourth wheel versus what you do at the front. And it's just another way of learning. And so for Holly and I, it's an extension of the live coaching, but it's also a fabulous community.
And why full speed events TTT rather than TTT in itself?
Because we had to pick a name.
Okay.
And we are full speed events.
We
and
are
and
indeed.
I'll tell you,
so what do
like
people do?
events at full speed.
So what do people do? How do they get involved?
Well, they can head over and find our Discord channel, or drop Holly or I a message on Instagram or Facebook, and we can indeed put you in touch with that Discord channel. We vote each week as to who wants to ride what session. The more riders, the more sessions, and then we set it all up for you. So all you have to do is turn up at the right time, on the right day, on your time trial bike, and enjoy the ride.
So basically, Holly and Emma are doing the admin under the full speed events banner. So if Joanna Zimmerman wants to jump on board, she's clearly well prepared. She's got the ice vest on here, so clearly well prepped for the racing. Perfect TTT member, clearly thinking about it. You can go to MyWhoosh info as well. On the front page of that, you can join the TTT Discord there, join the TTT club, and then just get out of there and race. And if you do want to put the name on the Sunday Race Club, I'm not going to complain.
We have riders from Category 6 to Category 2.
Oh, cool.
The aim at the moment is to, whoever is available on the day, we ride to the group on the day.
Okay.
And that is really good. So Category 2 to Category 6, men and women. Sometimes we have a women's team if we have enough women who want to ride together. Most of the time we have mixed teams and mixed squads. It doesn't matter. It's absolutely brilliant.
And that's a great way, isn't it? Because you've got different levels of rider to learn strengths, what it's like riding with a stronger rider than you, what it's like riding with somebody who's maybe not as strong as you are, who doesn't have the same strengths and weaknesses. And everybody has different strengths and weaknesses on the way through. So a great way to learn. Our riders, they all bring something to that. I'm sure Rutty Racer would be bringing her skills to bear in the sprint, as she would do in a team time trial. In fact, down onto those drops, nicely done. So engaging the sprint muscles there, going down, pulling through the bars, kicking down here, making sure stays in this pack, not wanting to lose position. Positioning is really, really key. Even if you're not going to take away the top spot in the sprint, that was a big kick. Embring there going at 11.5 watts per kilo on the way through. Is that going to be enough? She faded a little towards the end there. Let's see who's going to take the jersey. It's Horner. Who right alongside her, who's going to take it, but just seeing it yo-yo around a little bit there as it was worked out. That is going to be another close sprint, another stretch of the legs before they get to the hills.
Well, Valentina Desenia took the sprint competition last week. She comes in second to Sabrina Horner, but that really was Horner versus Desenia versus Ortiz versus Embring. All four of those riders so close together. Well, while the Category 3 riders have just head through the Ghent City Sprint at around the 2.5 kilometre marker, the Category 6 riders, who were the first riders out of the start pen at 9.4 kilometres, are coming to the top of the Kortekeer climb. And it's Cahur and Stevenson, two riders clear. But look at that behind. This is close. Just 6 seconds back, Agadello, Narvaez, Sarasuk, Hamilton. Small gap further back, and we can see that. Solazano then leading pack number 3. On the top right-hand corner of your screen, you can see what's happened to that Category 6 pack. They are split down the hill in 2s and 3s. And you can see what's going to happen now is these guys are going to go over the top. They're going to go through the polka dot banner. They're going to drop down the other side. It's not a steep descent. It's really a shallow descent across the plateau. It's not a flat plateau. It is of descent. And before they hit the main descent at a later stage, it could allow some of these groups to come back together, but at the moment, the two riders out front, Cahur and Stevenson, are clear, and Randa Cahur is the rider at the front here. And I tell you something, it's a long and lonely journey from the 10-kilometre marker to the finish. Does she want to do 25 kilometres on her own? She could do.
There's a nice win here in terms of taking away the fastest time up the climb, because I'm sure that group went into the climb pretty much together. But at the top of this, I would be doing maximum recovery, getting back into that group. Because as you say, I mean, it's a long way here, relatively long way, from the top of the Kortekeer climb through the Tisselhoven Molen Sprint and into that Valkenberg climb, the next climb. And you never know what will happen further down the road. So getting some points in the bag, we've seen it in the Giro Donna, riders going out and getting points in the bag in the sprints and the climbs competition. Really, really important. And we're going to see that for Narvaez here. You know, Narvaez is coming up. She's right in the mix here. And I think just going in to take a point there, indeed she does. So she scores points over Jessica Hamilton, who doesn't score a point on that climb, coming through in 6th position, the last of this group here, before we go to Angie Solorzano, who's the 7th rider up that climb.
Well, Randa Kahula, we saw the rider go over the top in 1. Trudy Stevenson then went over in 2.
Yeah.
But she took the fastest time up the climb, and she's been rewarded with the polka dot skin suit. So Stevenson in that polka dot skin suit, 15 seconds ahead of this group of 3 riders that we can see. Well, we drop back in with category 5. They're at the 8.5 kilometre marker. They are on the transition between the 2-part climb of the Kortekeer. They've gone over the first part. They are descending into the valley at the bottom before they start the second part of the climb to the polka dot banner. Look at the size of the group. Sebra El Rey, we're in with her at the moment on the screen, and you can see concentration. The mouth is open, breathing hard, heart rate
still
at
smiling.
160. Well, yeah, you know,
keep smiling,
you've got to enjoy it.
Seba smiling and waving, and
still
giving it peace.
She's in with Kennedy. She's in with Marshall. Yeah. She's in with Idzik. She's in with Tajeros. She is in the right place and is about to kick. They're currently coming in to the base of the second part of the climb. It's short, it's sharp, it's steep. It's going to take them to the polka dot banner. It is just 750 meters. Well, it's 750 meters on cobbles, and we all know what that's like.
We do. If you're lucky enough to live anywhere with cobbles, you'll know how sapping that is now. Well, as the riders make their way up here, they're starting to catch 1 or 2 riders in category 6. Remember, each of our categories and riders can draft each other. There's no differentiation between the categories. So if you're a category 5 rider catching a category 6 somewhere quick, you will get some drafts. Same works the other way around. So higher or lower categories can catch each other. No problems at all using that draft. However, at 12 kilometers an hour, that draft is going to be minimal in comparison to the 30, 40, 50 kilometer an hour speeds we see on some of our descents, particularly on those longer descents where riders are able to sprint and use that speed and momentum pickup on the way through. Here, it's about getting the power down on this 8% climb as we go to category 4 now. Category 4, just approaching the summit here of this first section here, going up over the top, and you can just see the background. You see how much height they've gained already.
13 riders in that, 14 riders in contention still.
Yes, and I would argue potentially that those at the back have still got room to squeeze here on that descent and into the climb. We'll have to go back and see just how many make those groups going over the top as we switch across to category 2, because category 2 have some big representation here teams-wise. So 2 teams with the team captains in there, Carolina Leinonen of What Was and Abus Esports' Sarah Roach. The core squad and the United Cadence squads have 3 riders apiece. So getting in there nice and early, getting that team cohesion dialed, which I think is actually more important than people realise. These squads are doing it. Gonzalez, Rua, Hakkinen and Kalman for the core squad, working together really well. Lethbridge, Moros and Machandi of the United Cadence doing the same. Fantastic to see that. And I think particularly on a course where working together is key, on those chases and catches, this is going to be really important. It's time to get our penultimate race category away. Category 2 here on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. Qualifier race number 2 in July is up and away. July, of course, the month before the MyWhoosh $1 million championship, which is coming up. We're going to be bringing you all of the action from that. And I'm looking forward to seeing, I'm sure, some of these riders.
Let's come back to that because I've got some really interesting stats. But
we will do. We'll do that further in the race.
Before we talk MyWhoosh Championship stats, let's talk about the Category 2 race field, because this is the largest race field here today. 34 riders on the start sheets. Now, we have indeed here, Kalman took second place last week. Gourea took third. Lethbridge took 4th, Hakkinen took 5th. Katarzyna Velner has come up from Category 3. Well deserved. She's been racing so strongly. We have a new rider on the start sheets today, Charlotte Lucas from New Zealand, First Sunday Race Club. I'd like to say a little thank you to Kate McCarthy. I hear she's been recruiting riders in New Zealand because Jay Atkin had her first race as well last week. But we're in with Charlotte Lucas. Lucas represented New Zealand in the road race at the 2018 Commonwealth Games and placed 4th. She's now on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. Expect sparkles.
Sparkles?
Yeah. Well, I can tell you, people might go, well, why is Charlotte Lucas in Category 2? Why is she not in Category 1? Well, I understand from my insider riders in New Zealand that she's not a huge watt monster in terms of her threshold.
Right.
And in real life, she's relied on that small aero element to her racing. She can nip, she can draft, she can etc. position herself well, which is a very different set of skills on the road to on cycling esports. It's going to be interesting to see how she progresses. Sophie Giovanni has progressed very well on cycling esports. I'm expecting her to be in contention in those semi-finals. She's right in the mix here in this Category 2 pack at the moment. And for me, this Category 2 pack has got to be the closest pack racing, I think, this week.
It's an absolutely ridiculous task trying to pick any one rider out of here or any 10 riders out of the 30-odd rider field because they're so strong.
Last time out in Belgium, it was Penna from Karamani, from London, from Wagner, from Roche.
So let's just talk to that a moment. Penna, straight away. Let's pick first rider. Strong rider, great sprint rider, great strength, perfectly suited to this. I mean, I would love to see Penna try and replicate this when she goes out and go to Belgium and ride those same styles of climbs and courses on the road and here, and maybe do the same in a bumpy, hilly cyclocross race where you've got big power acceleration, big sprint, and then repeat efforts. I think it really suits, again, a rider you can't discount out of this group.
Yeah, well, Dijkstra, Miros, Manshandi, Koinstinen back in. Mina Koinstinen, welcome back. Full bore to the Sunday Race Club. It's lovely to have you here. Velner's here, who we said, Dana Davidson, Kalman, Tridin, Gothlander. Do not discount Jennifer Gothlander on this course today. Alice Lethbridge climbs well. She's come up from Category 3 where she started her Sunday Race Club journey. She took 4th place last week in California. She climbs really strongly. Could be one to watch, but at the moment it's Jennifer Gothlander who's in the green skin suit. She's obviously targeting the spring competition today.
Well, you say that, but I think with this sprint being early and finishing what is 3.7k before you hit the base of the climb, I think you can actually just treat this particular sprint as a first step of multiple sprints. Because once you've done the Kortekeer climb, Valkenburg climb, Eichenberg Hill, Eichenberg climb are all sprint power. They're big kicks, big power, short duration. So if you've got a kick, but you've got some good duration, you're going to be in there. Which of the riders in Category 1 fulfill that? Pretty much everybody, because they are all absolutely phenomenal and they are all to be reckoned with. The biggest squad today is the Adblock International squad. They have fielded 5 riders out today: Korchinski, Hermansen, Holcroft, McCarthy, the world champion, and Soderstrom. The Sweat Sensations have the 3 with Guerra, Fua, and Bruni. Supernova squad, Van Hove Tomasi are the 2 riders in there, and Cycling District and Watt Sisters have 1 rider apiece. Anna Caramella for Cycling District, and Watt Sisters Amelia Veltz. Half the race fielder in teams have team names allocated to them. The other half are riding independently, but may well club together to try and hold back the dynamic duo that is Kate McCarthy and Gabby Guerra. You could now make that a tremendous trio with the addition of Maria Holcroft, who can really put them under pressure as well. And I would say it's probably the third of a triumvirate of talent.
Well, I think there's, yeah. It's just amazing. So McCarthy took first place last week. Guerra took second. Holdcroft took third. Kolchinsky took fourth. And Fua took fifth. Now, Mulbruni is here this week. She wasn't here last week. And the triathlete really able to get amongst that top five.
Yep.
So for me, one of the things here in Category 1 women, that sort of top six are really starting to grab a hold onto the women's racing.
Now, great to see him. We don't often get to see Mary Kate McCarthy, our world champion. There you can see the world champion jersey in the background. All hell, the world champion, Mary Kate McCarthy, the absolute superstar of the sport, I have to say.
Can I just say?
Her legs do the talking. She is phenomenal athlete, a great rider. Now, Kerry, hopefully McCarthy isn't listening to all this, because otherwise the ego will be some weight to bear. But I have to say, all of it is true, because she's an incredible rider, taking that championships in style in Abu Dhabi.
Well, can I just also say, there is one thing that Kate McCarthy does not hold: the course record in Belgium for the women. She was 30 seconds shy of it last time out. Can she add that 30 seconds and take the PB today on the course?
So no pressure in front of all of the family here today. In front of all of the family, you have got to nail this.
It's got to be the best fan club ever.
I know. I think there was so much support for Mary Kate McCarthy from family, from friends when she was at those World Championships and on social media. And she proves it time and time again. A rider who we know has had a long career. She's a rider who we know, I think, really within cycling could be at the top of most disciplines. Going for the esports, cycling esports, has proven that with the world champion. You can see the jersey in the background with the rainbow bands, with the digital break in the middle of it. There's going to be another jersey up for grabs. That's going to be in Abu Dhabi, middle of November. Will she be able to take that? More importantly, can she get the course record here today? The avatar on your screen matching that jersey on the game here on MyWhoosh on the Sunday Race Club. And here is the big challenger to that crown, Gabby Guerra.
And you know what I love? They are like in completely opposite positions on the globe. Gabby Guerra, Brazilian flag in the USA. It is around 3 a.m. in the morning in the Guerra household. It is going to be completely opposite in New Zealand, where Kate McCarthy is.
And very different backgrounds as well. I mean, Mary Kate McCarthy going down the almost professional road of going in with the Pro Tour teams as we came into COVID. You've got Gabby Guerra, a rider who comes from skateboarding and who is a phenomenal athlete in her own right.
And is getting better and better, because let's not remember, Guerra has not been on a bike long.
No, and she did her first road races. She's been out doing her first road races. She's been out doing her first riding and competing outdoors and taking podiums there as well. Very different backgrounds. What for me unites the two is their dedication and their focus in very different ways. You know, loads of people already follow Gabby Guerra. Loads of people get to see the insights day in, day out into what it takes. And yet, able to match McCarthy and challenge it all the way. Now, very different type of rider in terms of targets on this race. I think Mika Soderstrom here taking away a sprint win in the first of our sprint segments. Mika Soderstrom, though, is again a rider who's got a very specific focus, and again a rider who's great not just at riding in esports cycling, but across and around lots of different disciplines.
Can I just say, Mika Soderstrom took the green skin suit, but I was looking and I was looking and I was waiting and I was going, where's Bridget Falensky? Is she not in the mix today? She's on my start sheet. Bang! Bridget Falensky comes through from the back and picks up the fastest time of the day overall and takes that green skin suit off of Mika Soderstrom.
So I would like to, one day we are going to have a pancake flat race where Bridget Falensky can fight it out for the sprint win, a bunch sprint finish with 35 kilometers of zero climbs, zero anything but sprinting. Bridget Falensky's power, her look at the watts per kilo. I mean, she's not got the highest watts per kilo or the power. She doesn't need, she's so good. And yet she has the fastest time because she's so skilled at using that draft. Jennifer Gosselin, another phenomenal time, 2 times sub 20 seconds
and
for that sprint.
Horner category 3, Schultz category 4, Atkins category 5, and Hamilton category 6. Those riders setting the fastest times in their respective categories. All of those green skin suits.
And those are the riders who will be taking away the prizes.
Should we just talk a little bit more about the Category 1 pack? Because there is Bridget Flensky. She's off the back of the group. She's not even trying to stay with them. And that is absolutely acceptable underneath the rules of the competition. She's targeting the sprint competition. She's not targeting the win in the race. She can ride round at 2.2 watts per kilo and just go for the sprints. That is within her gift.
I would do that, to be fair. If I knew I was not in the race overall, I would be going for the sprints. I agree with you 100% there, Emma.
So just 23 riders in the Category 1 race field. It is our smallest race field of the day, but it is packed with national champions. I mean, Jenny Eck is there, and I love the fact that in Finland, they waited until she was at a real-life event to award her jersey so she could pick up the jersey in person rather than posting it to her.
I think that's, yes, I think it's one of those things, isn't it? The riders, by its very nature, cycling esports is something that people can do remotely.
Yes.
And because it's done remotely, I think it's very hard to then translate that, particularly when people's lives are so busy and people often have so little time, to something that gives due recognition to the riders, that gives that insight into the riders, that maybe you can award the jersey in person and give that to them. It just logistically challenged. We only need to think about things like the World Championships. Thank goodness MyWhoosh are there, bringing all of the riders into one place at one time, which is what we saw in Abu Dhabi last year. We're going to see in Abu Dhabi this year, and that is one of the things. It elevates the standing of those riders by the very fact that they are together, racing together and taking the accolades together.
Well, the elevation here is 14% at the moment underneath the Category 2 pack's wheels. And I say Category 2 pack because this is a Category 2 pack. One or two riders just starting to get distanced off the back. Christine Schneider is one of those. You can see, look at that. She's up and out of the saddle. She is pushing so strongly, trying to stay on the back of the group. Gulping in the air at the moment. It's 16% under her wheels. It does give her some respite in a short while, but at the moment, that is the effort that it takes. She's hanging on to the back of Charlotte Lucas, Stephanie Briggs, Katie Banerjee. This group are towards the back of the bunch, but they are still attached to the bunch. There it is. It's going up and over the top. Schneider doing a phenomenal job here. What a great effort. But look at the size of this pack. Atkin, Wagner, Manshandi, Roach, Thompson, Tridin, Shanks is in there as well. Now, Heather Shanks really has got the Sunday Race Club by the scruff of the neck and giving it a good shake. This rider from Scotland, actually side by side with Stevenson at the moment, another Scottish rider. I do love that. And small country, two riders, Category 2, side by side, heading up the Kortekeer. This is Belgium, not Scotland. Similarities between the two countries: rain, mizzle, and climbs. Fabulous views, lovely people.
I was going to go for a love of deep fried things, Mars bars, waffles, Fritz. But I was also going to go with amazing people, really friendly and passionate supporters of sport.
Wonderful cycling.
Yes,
in
and
both
size doesn't matter, and I'm going to tell you why. A great example of that is a certain young rider I've had the pleasure of watching since he was like way tiny, called Oscar Onley. Oscar Onley, who has been challenging with the leaders of the men's Tour de France that he's on at the moment. He's a rider who, if you follow Alex Dowsett, another time trial champion, he actually has got a picture of him with Oscar Onley looking like he's about 3. He's not, he's about 5, but he looks tiny. And I tell you, Oscar Onley still looks like he's not old enough to grow a beard. Never mind go out and race with the best. But my goodness, he comes from Scotland. He's a rider who, no matter what the geography, he's out there and he's mixing it with the best. And that's,
there's
it
another
shows
Scottish rider on the screen. Natalie Stevenson is on our screen at the moment, and you can see her with that good-sized screen in front of her. I do love a good-sized screen when I am riding. I know a lot of people ride on iPads. Some people ride on phones. I like a good-sized screen, just like Natalie Stevenson.
I think, for me, when you're riding, it's relatively immaterial what size it is. There's a bit more enjoyment when you're on there. When you're racing, it's getting the information is key. So you need to be able to read everything. You need to be able to see the watts per kilo. You need to see where those riders are coming. You need to look at the map and be able to see the individual discs on the top right-hand side of the screen that represent the riders. You need to know whether it's one group or two. You need to be able to see the banner coming on the radar view if you can't see it on there. So for me, when you're racing, it is advantageous to have a screen you can see, or good eyesight. Take your pick.
Maybe I need a big screen because I'm getting older. But the Category 1 pack have just gone under the polka dot banner. They've seen the polka dots. They've seen the start of the Qualifier climb, the first of 3 categorised climbs here in Belgium. 4 climbs overall because the Eichenberg Hill is not categorised in that climbing competition. But the pack are rolling in steady as they go.
Yes.
Merle Bruni. We're in with Bruni at the moment. How do I know they're steady as she go? Well, I'm going to just let our new viewers know. If you take a look at the top right-hand corner of your screen, you can see Zone 5 currently lit up for Catherine Fuhr. She's pushing on now. They've gone into the base of the climb and pushing on those pedals. That power is strong. As they went in, they were Zone 1, Zone 2, which tells me it was steady as they went.
So the training zones, different training systems have different numbers. You can have 1 to 4, which is what it was when I started out. It's now about 1 to 8 or 10 on some training systems. Here we have 6, which makes it relatively straightforward. You can see the bar zooming across from left to right at the top there as the riders ease off or go back up into those higher power zones. That's dependent on their heart rate and the power that they're putting down, how hard they're working. You can see at the moment it's hovering around about zone 4 to zone 5 at the moment for Catherine Fuhr. Still plenty left in there. Zone 6 is basically when you're on your limit or way over the top of it, it's going to push you right out. Zone 1 is riding along, taking it steady. There's no taking it steady, though, in category 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, because this is a Sunday race club. It's not the Sunday Ride Club. It's the Sunday Race Club. And one rider who we know can race well, Alice Lethbridge here, chasing Penna, chasing Linen, and Penna already living up to expectation, going through at the front of the race with that polka dot skin suit at the moment. And because they came in together, I think that should be relatively secure on the shoulders of Tiffany Penna. Penna's serving warning to the riders. If the winning last time on this course wasn't enough, well, guess what? She's here. She's on form. And she's riding well.
And the pack are coming back together in category 2. It's looking like, if you look on that top right-hand corner of your screen, a couple of groups of riders off the back, but the majority of the bunch, and I'm just going to do a double check to see how many are in the bunch, 24 riders still in contention in category 2 at the moment, over the top of the Qualifier. Penna picking up the polka dot skin suit, pushing towards the end. Vellner riding strongly, Kalman riding strongly, Sarah Roach is in the mix. She's had a top 5 here before. Jay Atkin is in the mix, new rider to the Sunday Race Club, looking strong at the moment. Van der Vliet, the rower, is in the mix. She's back on the bike today. Katerina Karamani, I've seen her riding out in the UK this week on her social media feed with a Brownlee.
Oh, with one of the Brownlee brothers.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic people to go right with. Morning, Katerina. I know Katerina in the UK. Based in Wharfdale, neck of the woods, which is a fantastic place to ride. The Bolton Abbey, the Wharfdale, the chain gangs basically go out that direction time and time again. Very warm in the UK at the moment, as you can tell, with that ice vest on Katerina at the moment. It's a great riding area. It's absolutely scorching out there. The whole area actually has a non-irrigation policy at the moment. A hose pipe ban, as it's known in the UK. You're not allowed to water the plants, the garden, the flowers, anything.
Well,
you can't wash your cars, can't even wash your bike.
Well, I'll tell you who's got water in her bottle at the moment, and that's Catherine Fuhr. She's pushing on
She's
at the
got
top of the
nitrox
climb.
in at the moment. She's
and
flying.
She is absolutely motoring towards the top of the climb. McCarthy, Bruni, Holdcroft, Alberg, Tomasi, all coming up onto her wheel at the moment. They're at the 7.6 marker. This is the interim top of the Qualifier. I say the interim, they're going to drop down the other side and then climb the final section. But we're in with Catherine Fuhr at the moment, and you can see the look of concentration. Oh, she is focused today, is Fuhr. She's in Belgium on the bike here on Sunday Race Club. She's in Switzerland in real life. That has mounted. And I'll tell you something. If you want to watch the most beautiful scenery that a bike rider puts out, I have to say Catherine Fuhr's social media, the pictures, it is stunning where she rides her bike.
I'm hoping to see some of it when go over for the Mountain Bike World Championships.
Oh,
UCI,
yes.
UCI are the governing body of cycle sport across the globe. The UCI's esports partner for 2024, 25, 26 is MyWhoosh. And as one of those disciplines is the Mountain Bike World Championships. I'm going to be heading there, as is Emma as well, for the UCI, because we don't just put words to the action of esports, although we do this week in, week out. We absolutely love this. We do other things as well. And we will be putting words to the action of a lot of the mountain biking there. And not too far from the home of Francesca Tomasi, because, of course, the Alps span the centre of Europe.
Yeah,
so if you are going to those, do come along and say hi. We will stop gawping at the amazing scenery and say hello, as long as we don't have a microphone or either in front of us or on our heads at the time. Hopefully, some of you will be there. Come say hi to us there, or wherever we are out and about. It's great to catch up with all of the family and see our riders progressing, to catch up with them in person as well.
I shall be posting beautiful scenery pictures. Francesca Tomasi, well, look at that. Oh, excellent. There's, did you just
another
see
ice
that?
Pack time.
Another ice pack going in down the back. Help and support Soigneurs cycling esports style.
And it is something we see more and more within. I remember when we went, way back when, in the dawns of the annals of time, we used to ride solo with nobody be around you. Now, having somebody alongside, tactically supporting you, giving you the physical support in terms of those ice packs, in terms of being a soigneur, in terms of making sure the fluids are right, giving you the shout that there's an attack coming in. It's handy. Some riders don't like it, just like you wouldn't want the voice in your ear on a time trial, maybe if you were on the road, or you don't want shouting at from the pit what the time gaps are if you're on the mountain bike or the cross bike, or anybody shouting at you whilst you're pulling a triple whip off as you go over the top of a BMX. Kiddle here, solo at the moment, nobody in the background. The course profile to the left-hand side, they're getting that information
She's
there.
got notes on it as well.
Yep. Yeah, liking the notes as well. We can't read them, don't
worry,
Preparation.
Bridget. And I'll tell you something, this is the type of course that suits Bridget Kiddle, you know. She really does excel, and she's come up from Category 2 into Category 1, and she's really made her presence felt.
It's one of the a raft of impressive performance, but it's an impressive transition to move from Category 2 to Category 1 and be adept at being in there. Now, I have to say, whilst we're looking at Mary-Kate McCarthy out of the saddle here, I am just going to say that two of my great loves in the world are on the wall. In fact, three, technically, are on the wall. One, a world champion cycling jersey, but also a dog riding a bike in the picture.
I'll tell you something. Now,
my eyesight could see that. I bet yours couldn't.
Anyway,
let's go back to the climb.
I didn't see it riding the bike. But contact lenses engaged. Guerra picks up the polka dot skin suit. She put that push on that big dig coming up to the top of the Qualifier because she wanted that skin suit. She was battling Catherine Furr. Now, Catherine Furr and Gabby Guerra are teammates on the Sweat Sensation squad. Guerra was second last week. Furr was fifth. Furr holds the course record on this course. But Guerra picks up those points in the climbing competition. 7 minutes, 26 seconds up the Qualifier for Guerra. Tiffany Penner picks up that accolade in Category 2. Marisol Ortiz, Category 3. Lucy Collins, Category 4. Natalia Idzik, told you she was going for the win, Category 5. And Trudy Stevenson, Category 6.
And remember, all those winners of their categories, they get 5 points. Second place in each category gets 4, 3, 2, and 1 down to that 5th place. And then those points replicated on the Valkenburg climb and on the Eichenberg climb. And that means that Gabby Guerra will need to go well on those 2 other climbs if she wants to take away the prizes. Now, interesting to see that a man who knows a lot. In fact, what he doesn't know isn't worth knowing. They're supporting Gabby Guerra there with a bottle in hand. Just dive back off camera because Gabby has the support of Nathan in the background there, just making sure that she's hydrated as well. Nice product placement there, sir, by the way. Thought that was very good. Because Gabby's sponsored by Precision Nutrition, and the riders do rely a lot on this sponsorship. And we might joke, we might have a bit of a laugh at people that, it's great product placement, but
it's fundamental.
This support is key because it improves the riding performance, it improves the hydration, it improves the health, the well-being of our riders, having great nutrition companies on board looking after them.
Can I be quite controversial? Can I say to all those sponsors out there and all those companies out there, don't support an Instagram influencer support a real athlete?
Ooh, that might get you shot down in flames by the
I
internet.
told you it was going to be controversial.
Well,
but fundamentally, I mean, we talked to team managers, women's team managers particularly, riding out on the road, and they really struggle for sponsorship. And actually, fundamentally, companies and marketing of companies are going in a different direction, and supporting elite women's sport in particular is something that is losing sponsorship, and really fundamentally is important.
I would say if your company needs credibility, wants credibility, and actually wants to be seen as a credible force in the market, sponsor, support credible cyclists, not just influencers who maybe are great with a keyboard or look good on camera. Sometimes the best riders out there are not those with the best keyboard skills. They're the ones who actually can do the business. So all the teams need support. Do jump on board. It will not harm your company to support a proper, credible cyclist rather than just an influencer.
Okay,
I will go down that road even further.
Let's move on now from the commentary team's controversial comments to Geros Sugala, Marshall Kennedy, Isaac, Alzit, Warren and Al Ray, all at the front of the Category 5 bike race.
There is, and I'm going to caveat what we just said with, there is a place for people who go out and ride as influencers, but not influencers who decide to ride. There you go. And on that controversial note, let's dive in with our riders. Let's get back to the racing. Anna Alzit Valencia, one of our class riders here, out of the saddle, kicking down nicely in this leading group here in Category 5, closing down on Category 6. Groups are spread all over the road here in Category 6, and we do see that, don't we, in 6, and in 5, to be fair, where because of the severity of these climbs in Belgium, because we're talking 15% on the Cortekia, it shows the differences in climbing ability, not overall ability, climbing specific ability, much more than, say, a course which has only got a 4, 5, 6% climb.
Yeah, it's so steep. And actually, and I can't believe I'm actually going to say this, when you are out on the roads of Belgium or on the really steep climbs of MyWhoosh, where you're at 10, 12, 14, 16%, when it hits 5%, it feels like it's flat.
It does. It's a false flat.
The respite that comes when the numbers drop down. Well, no respite at the moment for Randa Cahul at the moment. That's another polka dot banner. She's about to go under 27.4 kilometres into this race. She is absolutely motoring. This is the Eichenberg climb. She is still clear at the moment from the Category 6 chasers. Trudy Stevenson, hello, has her in her sights.
And you saw Trudy Stevenson there wait to press on those pedals until she went underneath the banner. So waiting to put the pressure down, giving herself time to go after Randa Cahul. Give herself the leeway there of slightly more time for getting some respite on the base into the climb, which means that if she gets onto the wheel, closes that gap down, she'll have a faster time than Cahul. Randa Cahul did a great job on the front here, soloing away, but that time is potentially coming to an end as Stevenson, Hamilton are going to, I think, make contact potentially. Hamilton is still a decent gap behind. Remember, at the moment, those time gaps are very flexible and fluid, and that is because they're based on distance and speed. They're not the time you physically go past, or your avatar goes metaphorically past an obstacle. It is based on a calculation of the relative speeds of the riders and the distances they have covered. So it does go up and down. It's another calculation, another reason to have a decent sized screen when you're watching and being able to look at those time gaps and to evaluate whether or not that the figure that you're seeing is high or low, or is it going to be an average of what's coming through, whether those riders are likely to be on a section where basically they're doing the same speed.
Well, Van Hove is pushing on the descent here off the front of the Category 1 pack. Catherine Firma, Bruni, Mika Soderstrom are all behind in that group. I tell you, it's a big group. 16 riders I counted in that Category 1 pack over the top of the Cortekia. And at the moment, it is Van Hove rolling away.
Indeed. Rolling, rolling, rolling. There's a song there somewhere I won't sing. No, I won't. Okay, there you are. It was nearly a first throw of the studio of the day whilst we've been on air from Emma's side of the studio over to mine here. No throw for Brittany Litton. She's far too controlled for that at the moment. One of our great riders and a bit of a pipe piper. when it comes to bringing riders in and racing and riding, getting that community together, as well as being a great rider in her own right. And great to see she's right in this mix here. Rutty Reese along with Stefania Sanchez, Ortiz Lip in there, Jimmy Prado in this group as well. I'll tell you something, that is big
Yay!
group
Everybody
in there.
wave to Brittany Litton.
Yeah, there we go, Brittany Litton in there, and with the composure to wave as well. And we do.
And she has the traditional Brittany Litton fuel by the side of her.
Indeed, she has. Other fuels are available, but if Red Bull want to give me a helmet anytime, along with the cap that I got from them, please feel free, because I could do with the new one soon, because mine's approaching my 3-year-old, 3-year limit now I have on my bike helmets after having bounced myself down the road more than once.
Well, Brittany Litton is not bouncing herself down any road. She's
No.
firmly ensconced within this pack here. Ruti Reese, Jermaine Prado, Joanna Zimmerman, Kimber Niller, Holly Bergin, Anna Embring, Jennifer Reel, all in the mix here. This is the Category 3 leading group. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 riders. I am still counting in contention in Category 3. They are heading up the Eichenberg Hill. They drop down the other side and they go into the Eichenberg climb. From the top of the Eichenberg climb, it's a 6-kilometer run to the finish line. How big is this group going to be once we get over this Eichenberg duo?
It is. This pair of hills here really could be counted as one. If you take them, they are that quick. And one of the things about this course is the further into the course we go, and you'll have heard this if you were watching the men's race last week in qualifier race number 1 in Belgium, the further into the race we go, the more important it is to be with the group as you go over the crest of the climb. Now, that is because as you go over the top, the speed will pick up at the front. Now, at the first one, there's a lot of time to get back because it's a long downhill, long descent, and long plateaus. The Valkenburg climb, the second climb, it's level across the top for a little way. This is the Eichenberg Hill. It's a roll over the top, and Kim Vanilla in the right position, glued to the wheels here. We know she's a great climber. She's glued in those wheels. She'll want to be right in that pack as they go over the top, because you go up and you're straight into a rolling descent, and it rolls over the top. The Eichenberg climb, you're going up, and then you're going down. It's not even a roller coaster. It's a proper knife edge. You go up to the top, you go over the edge, and you plummet down the other side. And that means that anybody climbing, whilst you hit that descent, they're going to be doing 10K an hour. You're going to be doing 30 plus K an hour within a couple of seconds. And that means that gap will open, it will spread. Now, we're in with another of the riders that we see riding regularly with Kimber Nell. It's Angelica Altamirano. Had a great race last week, and we tipped her for big things in qualifier 1. Didn't disappoint at all, and great to see Angelica Altamirano in. Back, she's in with the lead group again. Another rider going really well at the moment.
And she is one of the young riders in the pack. She's an under 23 classified rider out on the road, and she really does know how to start to position herself in a race. And great to see her. She was 4th last week in that Category 3 race, and I don't think it's going to be too long till we see her progress again. You know.
I agree 100%. Now, I'm going to dive very quickly into Category 6. Randa Cahul going over the top of our last climb there, taking the first position over the top. She's got Trudy Stevenson for company now, and the climbing is done and dusted. Trudy Stevenson with the polka dot skin suit, so she will take away the win there, taking the fastest time each segment and taking away the price for the overall in terms of the climbs. The rider in 3rd place is Jessica Hamilton. Hamilton is distanced by nearly a minute on the 2 leaders, and that means that the 2 leaders should be able to hold position because behind the groups are fractured. But coming very quickly, our Category 5. We're in with Gabrielle Marshall, who is the rider leading Category 5, who are up to 8th on the road overall. So this group is coming, and they're coming quick, and it's a cohesive group just behind, because we've got Idzik, we've got Geraldo, we've got Alrai, we've got Kennedy, we've got Tajeris in here. This is a really strong group. Idzik nicely tucked into this group. It's got their climb leader in the competition. That's Sonia Giraldo. And I think we could well see this group goes over together, sweeping up some of the Category 6 riders who, if they're smart, are going to jump in. Now, you can see Seba Alrai. Come on, Seba, dig deep time. You got to keep on those wheels. It's not far to go. They know the top of this summit is coming. There, you can see Seba Alray at the moment at 28.7k. She's got less than 300 meters to go. She can see the banner and she can see the wheels in front. This push is worth it. Do not get distanced over the top of this climb. That's what we were talking about earlier on. This is a critical moment. Marshall is pushing here. So Gabrielle Marshall at the moment looking to stretch the gap. Geraldo is responding now, trying to come up as Idzik pushes here. So Idzik is going to get the sprint on. Is she going to be able to claim enough points as they come up over the top? Remember, Natalia Idzik had took away the first of our climb segments. Idzik goes underneath the banner. You can see the effort that's gone in there, and a pat on the back there saying, wow, that was so impressive, because that was a big push. Goes over the top, and you can see Geraldo comes through behind. She's going to retain the overall polka dot skin suit at the moment. We're going to see what happens when those points are calculated, but at the moment, remember, that is an accumulation of the points. If anybody's wondering how any disputes are decided, there is race control in there. So race control are in there. Now, just taking a little bit of a look in there. Race control of the results. We're just keeping a check on the way in through of those positions, and I suspect they're going to be taking a little bit of a check. And any of the riders who do have any questions, they can get in touch with them.
They can.
It's really responsive. Whatever category you're in, you are subject to the same verification. You've got the verification process going through all of our riders, not just the top 3, top 5, top cats. It's everybody, and everybody has access to race control, whether you're in category 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. At the moment, we're just seeing our category 3 riders making their way up here, and at the moment at 27.8k, they are on the Eichenberg climb, the last climb. They're on the way. They're chasing riders, but it's coming through thick and fast now in these race groups.
It is coming through thick and fast. We've just watched the category 5 riders go over the top. Geraldo, Idzik, Marshall, Alzat, Tejeros, and very quickly the category 4 pack of leading 9 riders has come over the top as well. Sopers, Collins, Cisioka, Bennett, Takanas, Atahualpa, Restrepo. We've got Vochikova in there and Barragan. Those are the 9 riders leading the category 4 race. They've gone over the Eichenberg climb too. Everybody is now on that 6-kilometer run to the finish. Category 3 are coming. Category 2 are behind. Then category 1. Category 1 in a big long line at the moment. And Guerra holding on to that polka dot skin suit at the top of the Valkenburg climb. I can tell you, it's Guerra, McCarthy, Fua, Van Hove, Alberg, Bruni, Kiddle, Tomasi, Holdcroft, Bjarhead, Velt and Van Shaw. Caramello and Field have just gone over, but there is a gap.
So the Valkenburg climb, this is a whole set of climbs back from the leaders on the road who we were just seeing going over the Eichenberg climb. This is the Valkenburg climb. So this is only the second of the climbs in, but we have got all of our race leaders over the top. You can see each individual winner of each category in there. Guerra's time, 2:18, super quick up there, and she's on form here and pushing really hard here because Mary Kate McCarthy has attacked over the top of the climb here and is trying to go clear. An attack by McCarthy, answered by Guerra, and the rest of the group are at 5 now, 6 seconds. This is a key move here. McCarthy punches again. She just jumps onto those pedals. Guerra is there holding now. They've got the gap. They've put the sprint in. They've got the gap. Have they gone clear? Are we going to see McCarthy and Guerra work together, or are we going to see them sit up and get caught back? There's a good-sized group behind, but they need to work together.
Well, and it's a good-sized run now through to the Eichenberg double because the top of the Valkenburg, they are at 20.6 kilometres. They're about to come down onto the descent, and then they've got a flat plateau before they get to the Eichenberg hill. It's not necessarily a place where you would expect a break to stay, particularly because there's 10 riders in that group behind.
And they need to work together. It's no good just trying to attack to bridge up. And we might see that from, say, Fua to get across to Guerra. We've seen it from Mil Bruni here, putting the pressure on, just trying to kick clear, not making that junction. Equally, you may be thinking, well, do you know what? Because Gabby Guerra's got teammates behind, she could just sit on Kate McCarthy and legitimately say, I'm not why would I work? I've got teammates behind. You want to go
Well,
for this,
so
knock
has
yourself out.
McCarthy.
She
McCarthy's got teammates behind too.
But McCarthy has the reputation, and she has the rainbow jersey, and with that is an inherent implication that you are the rider to be. You are the rider that has to do the work. You are the rider expected to set the running, and it does put extra pressure on.
Weight on your shoulders.
Yeah, or maybe not because it's hung on the wall.
It's hung on the wall, so the weight
We will
is gone.
see.
But Kittel, Van Hooling, Bruni, Velt, Caramello. Velt and Caramello, 17 seconds back with Van Shaw. Tomasi is at the back of the group, and Van Hooling, Bjarhead, Holdcroft, Kittel, all in there. But, you know, I'm looking at this. The two riders are now coming back, and it is a mixture of the pace coming off at the front and the push coming on this group. Mel Bruni, really instrumental in trying to bring this back, and they need to close that gap down. They still got some way before they hit the Eichenberg Hill, and then, well, the Eichenberg double is what is going to sort out, I think, this Category 1 race. And, well, if we saw those words on Bridget Kittle's map, I wonder if it said, "Here are dragons."
She's not Welsh.
No, but you know, it's where the fireworks and the fire starts.
Okay, well, let's see if we are going to stir up a nest of dragons. Will we be entering the dragon's lair, or will it be a bit of a damp squib? We will have to wait and find out. And will it all come down to a sprint? Don't forget, you can get in touch with Emma, and we always love to know what you're getting up to. It's at biking_Emma. You can get in touch with me. It's at Matt Fixer Payne. Don't forget, of course, at the same time, make sure you follow MyWhoosh. It's at MyWhoosh on Instagram and on Facebook. And whilst you're online, do two things. One, send the link to the YouTube channel to a friend. So send it to a friend. So go on there, subscribe to the YouTube channel, send it to a friend to watch as well, so they can kind of jump on board and watch the great racing. We'd really love to have them here as well. Whilst you're also doing that, download MyWhoosh on iOS, Android, on Windows, whichever platform you use to ride and race. Really, really key, because we would love to have you here on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. We want you sprinting for the win, and we are coming into the finish here. Two riders on the way into the finish. This is Category 6, Randa Cahool and Trudy Stevenson.
Well, they are indeed. These two riders have gone away on the climb. Cahool went away. Stevenson joined her. Stevenson's got the polka dot skin suit faster up those climbs than Cahool, but who has got the sprint? We've got 200 metres to go. There's a small rise now separating them before they come round the bend into the finish line. Cahool, Stevenson, Stevenson, Cahool. It's Stevenson who opens up first. Can Cahool match it? Trudy Stevenson has opened up the sprint. She has launched at 8 watts per kilo. Cahool has nothing left. It's Trudy Stevenson who's going to take the win today in Belgium, Category 6.
Fourth top 5 placing. A third place today, a second place today. That is Trudy Stevenson's first win, and it is the best result for Cahool as well. So it's a great result for both riders.
Well, Category 5, not far back either. 1,200 metres out is Gabrielle Marshall and Natalia Idzik side by side. This could well be another 2-up sprint. Annelien Tejeros at 11 seconds. Seba Al Rey at 43. I think this is going to be Idzik and Marshall. I'm not sure Tejeros can close the gap. I think we're going to see these two riders go in and a 2-up sprint as well.
Just ahead of them, you can just see that the riders making their way through. Jessica Hamilton on her way in towards the line. She's going to take a third place in the Category 6 race. So Stevenson from Cahool, from Jessica Hamilton. Hamilton will also take away the win in the sprints competition, as Stevenson did in the climbers competition. But all three riders putting in great performances. Now, let's take a little bit of a closer focus here on the sprint in Category 5. So Marshall versus Idzik. Sammy Idzik we've seen on our screen during the course of the racing today, up against Marshall, who has been climbing really, really well.
She is, but I tell you something, Natalia Idzik is showing our viewers exactly what numbers you can do sat in the draft. Marshall's been around 3.4. Idzik's been under 3. The gap is good. Natalia Idzik is glued to that wheel. It's 400 metres to go, and Idzik has launched at 13 watts per kilo. Natalia Idzik is adamant this one is hers today. Take a look at the effort. Take a look at the cadence. 106, 104. Phenomenal work from Natalia Idzik here as she comes up to the final corner. Gabrielle Marshall has got nothing in response at the moment. Natalia Idzik is going to take the win here in Belgium today. She has done an amazing job in Category 5 to ensure that win. What a kick. What a finish.
You can see the effort that it took to do that. That is her 12th win on the Sunday Race Club. 9 second places, 12 third places. A phenomenal rider who's ridden 97 Sunday Race Clubs. Gabrielle Marshall, a fantastic ride by her. She's had a third, she's had a second. She's going to have to wait another week for that win, but it's surely coming soon. Let's move across from our Category 5 race to our Category 4 race, and you can see this is a big bunch run for the finish. They're coming into that final right-hand turn.
Keely Bennett's leading it out here. Emily Sopers is coming up on the outside. Veronica Ciciolka is there. Sopers goes over the top. Bennett is there, but Sopers has gone. Sopers is flying at the moment in Category 4. She's going to take Keely Bennett, Ciciolka, Restrepo, Takanis. They are going to come through after. But it is indeed going to be Emily Sopers who takes the win in Category 4.
Emily Soper's first win. Her best so far was a third place, but that is only her 5th participation in the Sunday race. So phenomenal result for Emily Sopers, taking away the win in Category 4. On the left-hand side of your screen, you've got Category 3, a leader, and I think looking like she's got company. It's going to be more than a 2-up sprint. I think it's going to be a 3-up sprint between Race, Zimmerman, and Embring, with Lip just off the back of that group. Might just be making contact, and I think Angelica Altamirano and Gina Di Grazia are not that far off the back
neither
either.
Is Vanilla and Ortez. The gap is closing in Category 3.
And in Category 1, right-hand side, looks like Mary-Kate McCarthy has attacked going up the Eichenberg Hill, has got the gap on Guerra. 9 seconds is the gap for the 9 seconds back to Holcroft, Fua, Tomasi, Bruni and co. So at the moment, 2 riders clearing Category 1 with McCarthy leading Category 1. But let's dive back in with Category 3. Now, this, as you can see, top right-hand side of your screen, we have a little bit of a step to the right, and a little bit of a step to the left, and a little bit of a step to the right, and we're around the corner and we're in the finish. It is very, very quick. Knowing where that finish is, knowing where to kick, really key. Lots of riders get caught out by this. And this is going to be about who blinks first.
That's 10 riders there in Category 3, mixed in with a Category 4 rider. But those 10 riders are going to be lining up for the sprint as they come on this run in to the finish line in Belgium. They're coming up for 800 metres to go. Now, the thought process in this pack, well, if you were in the brains and the minds of those riders at the moment, it would be a really interesting place to be.
It'll say, ouch, in big letters.
Who's going first? Who's going to follow? Who's going to attack? What are they going to do? They are currently making their decisions. They've got 700 metres to go, 600 metres to go. Someone is going to launch first. And the question is, are they going to be able to hold it? Is it going to be Embring? Is it going to be Reese? Is it going to be Bergin, Lip or Altamirano? We're going in with Ruti Reese at the moment. She's pushing down, but Benilla is responding. Kim Benilla has gone at 10 watts per kilo. Brittany Litton is winding this up as well. Litton is out front at the moment, and Benilla is coming. Altamirano is there as well. The riders are absolutely dialing this, but it's Brittany Litton on the front. Altamirano, Benilla, Sanchez, Becerra is there as well, but she's in Category 5 in the mix. She's watching this unfold as Jennifer Reel comes up and over the top as well. This is a massive run into the line. Brittany Lemon is in the mix still, but so is Benilla and Embring, and now they're all coming. This is going to be straight across the line. Who is going to take this? I think this could well be Benilla. It could well be Kim Benilla who takes that. I'm just waiting for it to upload. It is Kim Benilla in 1, Anna Embring in 2, Marisol Ortez in 3, Altamirano in 4, Litton in 5, Sanchez, Reel, Bergin, Zimmerman, Lip, Beltran and Reese. 12 riders over the line, 1 sprint.
And breathe. Well done, Emma.
Can't believe I called that.
I'm quite glad you were calling that, not me. I think I'd run out of load power. That was Kim Benilla's third win on the Sunday Race Club, adding it to 2 third places and a further 10 fourth and fifth places. Great top 5 results for her in her 47 races on the Sunday Race Club. Good result for Angelica Altamarina as well. We did maybe tip that those 2 riders were going to be there or thereabouts. I'm going to take that as a win for ourselves, I think, on the way through because they were right in that top 5 mix. Good ride by Anna Emmerich with Marisol Ortiz taking away the green jersey as our sprint winner overall on the way through, and also taking the climbers jersey as well. So good day out at the office for her. All these riders coming streaming in. You can catch all of the results on MyWhoosh.com. Go to results, go to live. You'll see the women's qualifier race number 2 for July on there at the moment. And it's live. Those results at the moment are provisional. They are subject to the riders finishing and getting verified. All the riders have to be verified for those results to then get the official stamp of approval. And once that blue stamp is applied, then you know that those are the final results. And of course, all these riders racing for prizes, pride, bragging rights for the ability to go get some recovery drink down and eat as much cake and ice cream as they want afterwards, whatever the motivation.
They're elite athletes. I don't know whether they eat cake. People need to send me pictures of cake this week just to prove that elite athletes eat cake, and it's not just me.
Matt's golden rules: ride lots, eat lots, sleep lots.
Well, I'm not quite sure that includes cake, but you know,
it does for me. That's why I'm not going
to
win.
I do remember taking a regional group of youth riders down to an interregional mountain bike championships, and on the way back in the minibus, when we pulled up at the services, lots of services in the UK, reminding the riders that they were athletes until we dropped them off home.
Yes, then they ate cake and ice cream. To be honest, what you eat on the bike, really important. What you fuel up with afterwards, it is important, but you've got to also remember, have fun, enjoy yourself, because you know, whatever level you're at, things are always easier when you're having fun. Dorothy Gonzalez were able to have fun while sat in the group. I have to say, absolutely, she's
lining up. She's lining up for the finish, because this is one rider you do not want to take into a sprint.
Dorothy Gonzalez-Rur and friends, because regularly see her riding with a group of riders, for me sums up a lot of what cycling's about. Pushing yourself to the limit, going out and racing, really finding your limits, but at the same time going out and exploring, riding different places. Now that in their case could be in person, but it can also be on esports, out there riding somewhere where you'd never ever get the chance to ride, maybe potentially, unless you do it virtually. Certainly not all of them in one go.
Can I just say congratulations to Mina Koivunen, back on the Sunday Race Club. Little one is very tiny. Mina Koivunen is back. It is so good to have her back. I mean, Mina, welcome back to the Sunday Race Club. You do not know how much you are missed and how much we enjoy watching you race, and we're going to enjoy watching you return to top class form, because I tell you, Mina, class is permanent.
Yeah, form is temporary, class is permanent. And have to say, Mina's story has been really inspirational for a lot of people and really insightful for a lot of people on the run into the birth of the little one and the return to elite level racing.
Yeah.
Is, I'm sure, going to be just as informative. So do catch up with that. I mean, it's always good to get inspiration from everywhere.
Well, Kate McCarthy is indeed probably aiming for those World Championships. She's pushing on at the 30.2 kilometre marker. And I am just going to say one thing to Mina. Mina, if you don't make the World Championships this year, there is always next year. That's the one thing about a World Championships. They come round each year. And whilst we'd love to see you at the semi-finals and the finals in November, if you are not there, we'll see you in 2026.
Well, one rider I'm sure that we will be seeing 2025 is Mary Kate McCarthy, soloing away at the front of the Category 1 race. She's got that gap now to 25 seconds from Gabby Guerra, the rider in second place. Riders now training for 2 very different events as well. We've mentioned a lot the UCI World Championship is going to be happening in November, but we have got qualifiers on the way through. Let's run you through the UCI champs a little bit. There's public qualifiers. You can come and have a go. See where you might match up
Yes.
against the best riders in the world in those public qualifiers. There's a great article on the Zmunique. Jump on the Zmunique website.
I'm on there right now.
And have a quick check out of the article, because it's a really good summary of where we're at so far in terms of what we all know about public qualifiers, national selections. The qualifiers are all basically in August as the public qualifiers. So you're able to go ride those, and they are short and sharp. They are quick.
One stage.
One stage.
Spaced.
Wham, bam. Thank you very much. We're out the other side. You're going to qualify, or you maybe not going to qualify. You're then going to move through into things like the semi-finals and the finals, which finals take place in November. So it's quite a long way through. But in August as well, we also have the MyWhoosh Championships. Now, MyWhoosh Championships, the $1 Million Championships, is back after a 2-year hiatus. And it does mean that we're going to be putting words to the action for 8 days straight. So we would love you to join us for that. And we would love you to get in touch for that. Emma, do you want to run us very quickly through the MyWhoosh Championships?
I can.
Very quickly.
Well, I can tell you that as of yesterday, there were 711 riders signed up across both the men's and women's. There are 6 categories for that competition. In 2023, 79 women started and 124 men started. That's 203 riders. There's going to be a lot more than that today, but at the moment, the action is absolutely kicking off in Category 2 on the Sunday Race Club. They've got 1,100 metres to go, and Vellner, Lethbridge, Kalman, Lennon. The push is coming from the front of the pack. People are getting twitchy. We talked about this when the Category 3 riders came in. They were all looking at each other, but at the moment, the Category 2 riders are wanting to do something about it, and Lethbridge is going long. She's gone at 1,000 metres to go. Lethbridge, Vellner, Kalman, Gonzalez Rue are holding the wheel. So is Van der Vliet. And the difficult bit here is the run to the line. There's still 800 metres to go. This is so long. The question is, how long can they hold this, and who can sprint from a high pace at the end? Some riders prefer a high pace to get the sprint off of. Others prefer to sprint push off a low pace. The pace is now coming back as Vellner, Lethbridge, Tridgen, Miros all come back wide across the road.
Long effort. Just over a K out. Vellner instigated that. She was the one on the front winding. Then you saw Lethbridge keeping that pace high. Both riders who can hold a hard effort. They're great on time trials, great on climbs. But you've got the sprinters waiting. They're surfing the wheels. Vellner goes again now.
She does indeed, and Lethbridge is matching the pace at the moment, but Lennon has started to pick it up. Lennon is coming from behind, so is Kate Tridden. Kate Tridden is absolutely launching it at the moment. Vellner is at the front. Tridden, Lethbridge, Kalman, Lennon. Kate Tridden goes over the top at 8 watts per kilo. Can anybody match her? Joanna Kalman is coming, but she's not got the pace. Kate Tridden is going to take the win today in Category 2. The pack are rolling in behind. That was a cracker of a sprint, and Kate Tridden timing it to perfection. Joanna Kalman in 2, Camilla Miros in 3, Carolina Lennon in 4, and Alice Lethbridge will take 5th place.
So that's Kate Tridden's 3rd win on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. Her 5th time in the top 5 in 25 races here on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. As we see on our screens, our only race category still to get the winner over the line at the moment. That's looking like it's going to be Mary-Kate McCarthy on the left-hand side of your screen. You can see McCarthy here out of the saddle, putting in a big, long out-of-the-saddle effort, something that you would normally reserve for a climb if you were in person in the outdoors. Indoors, it's a great way to do some real resistance training here. McCarthy putting a long resistance training. If you compare that to Guerra, sat in this group, sapping away, very controlled, very much doing a seated effort and looking at the race and racing the riders around her. She's on form. Guerra took away the win. She beat absolutely everybody, male or female, in the Brazilian Cup, the Cup of Brazil that's on MyWhoosh this week. She absolutely flew around there and took the win in that race ahead of everybody else. Absolutely brilliant ride by her. It'll be very interesting to see if she can replicate that again, putting a lot of riding in.
Well, she is indeed, but Kate McCarthy coming up for 800 metres to go now. She's putting a strong drive, a strong time trial effort in here, and she's going to be rewarded with the win today. She's 44 seconds clear of the chase group behind. They are on the left-hand side of your screen, and it's a big chase group. They are going to be sprinting for second, third, fourth, and fifth. I said to you at the beginning, stay seated and wait for the sprint. Kate McCarthy's not waiting for a sprint today. She's got 500 metres to go, and she's going to drive all the way to the line. She's up and out of the saddle. You can see the look on her face. Gritted determination, effort and strength, power going through those pedals from the world champion today. She's got the rainbow bands on the wall in her pain cave. She's got the rainbow bands across the chest of her avatar. She's got 200 metres to go. She's going to come around the corner and see the UCI banner. Kate McCarthy is going to take the win today here in Belgium. I'm looking at the time. Oh, she's going to be outside the course record today. She's got to save something for the future. Another target, another bike race. She takes the win today in category 1. Kate McCarthy over the line first.
Kate McCarthy has had 1 third place, 7 second places, and that was her 32nd win out of 49 races on MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. A phenomenal set of results, and it shows you what a machine she is. And one of the reasons why she is such a difficult rider to beat, because while she was clear, she was not just racing for the win, she was training for what's to come as well, combining those goals.
Well, Holdcroft at the moment on the front of the pack is starting to open up now. Bruni, Guerra, Alberg. Alberg kicks at 11 watts per kilo. Camilla Alberg is going up over the top. Is this going to be a shock surprise for Alberg? But Catherine Fur now at nearly 15 watts per kilo. Catherine Fur is showing her dominance on the Belgium course. She owns the course record, and she's just taken second place to Kate McCarthy today. Catherine Fua, what a finish. Maria Holdcroft in 2, Camilla Alberg in 4, Guerra in 5, Tomasi in 6, Bridget Kiddle in 7, Mel Bruni in 8 today. Wow.
Absolutely phenomenal racing. Mary Kate McCarthy taking the win from Catherine Fua in second, then coming through behind it was that sprint, second place in the sprint, third place overall for Maria Holcroft. Holcroft taking the sprints jersey, subject to the arrival of Bridget Falensky. Catherine Fua taking the polka dot jersey. More riders on the way to the line.
Well, this is Van Hooling at the moment who's coming through. She's going to take 9th place today in that women's competition. And can I just say, I'm very sorry to everybody else in category 1, but Bridget Kiddle, if you make that World Championship final in November, I am going to be the giddiest girl in the world. I love all these women. I love watching them race. But Bridget Kiddle, you are one inspirational story. Thank you so much. Honestly, it really is fantastic.
As you can see, Mary Kate McCarthy taking away top spot, the world champion from Avlock International. 54 minutes, 45.029 seconds, some 50 seconds clear of that sprint that unfolded behind Fur, Holcroft, Alberg, Guerra, Tomasi, Kiddle, Bruni, Van Heuling, and Van Hove, rounding out your top 10 in the category 1 race. All of those race results are on mywhoosh.com. Go to results, and remember, at the moment they are provisional until we go through with that official stamp of verification that covers all of our riders. Don't forget that this has been our women's qualifier race number 2. Our women's racing continues on the Sunday Race Club with qualifier race number 3. In between, not just lots of great racing on MyWhoosh that you can join in by downloading the app on iOS, on Android, and on Windows. But of course, we've got our men's race coming up very shortly here on qualifier race number 2 with me, Matt Payne, and Emma Martin. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, in the meantime, in the break between the 2 races, jump on board MyWhoosh. Make sure that you check out the MyWhoosh Championships. Make sure you check out the World Championships details. Have a look at that article from the communique. Get yourselves refueled, rehydrated. Emma and I will be doing exactly the same.
I'm having a coffee.
I'm going to try and search for some cake. In the meantime, stay safe. We will see you very shortly.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. So hello and welcome to the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club qualifier race number 2. It's our men's race. My name's Matt Payne. I'm back in the studio with Emma Martin. And the big news is that in the break, if you're watching the women's race earlier, I didn't find any cake, but Emma did find coffee. So we're halfway there. I hope you are refreshed, refueled, and ready for the men's racing. It's going to be fast. It's going to be furious. We're going to be surfing a wave of fast riders over the hills of California.
Oh, we're heading to California, baby. It is going to be cracking. 45 kilometers of racing, 774 meters of climbing. The first 5.5 kilometers pan flat, and then we head up the Hollywood Hills, the Hollywood climb. It is indeed 3.1 kilometers in length, 6% average grade, and it's a cracker of a first climb. They descend the other side through the Alcatraz sprint, and then it's a real gradual climb up to Mount Umunhum, 1.6 kilometers that climb at 4% average gradient. Down the other side through the San Francisco sprint, technical section, the transition between Mount Umunhum and Spring Road climb. The Spring Road climb comes at 37.5 kilometres into this 45-kilometre race, 6.8 kilometres in length, average gradient 4%. But boy, is it going to be interesting. Think it took Osborne 12 minutes, 9 seconds for the Spring Road climb. That's his record at the moment. Will he break it today?
And will he be going for those climbs competitions and the prizes in that as well? With 3 climbs competitions, 2 sprint prizes today rather than the 3 that we often see. So the Alcatraz sprint coming at 18.7, the San Francisco sprint coming at 31.8. The climb that's not categorized in there is the Hawk Hills climb, which we have seen used before for some of the races, but it comes before that big finishing climb, the Spring Road climb. So it's going to be very interesting to see how all 6 race categories get on when they get to that section. 6 race categories separated by the same gaps as we saw in our women's racing in terms of start times. Category 6 going first, Category 1 going last, and the riders with the same race route, irrespective of category, that 45-kilometre California race route in front of them. Category 6 are our standard race category, a humongous race field here today in Category 6. BMC represented as always with the high 6 time team, the BMC 6, the BMC 6ers, the BMC 6-ish squad are there as well. How many 6s can you fit in? We have the Cycling District 6, the Level Carbon team, and the Rabdan team. The Rabdan, the name of an Arabian type of stallion.
Wow.
In fact, particularly quick.
Fast horse.
Fast. Will be very fun to see. Good to see if they are fast today. Spinergy are here, along with Team Velos Chile 6, the Wheelies Racing Squad, and ZTB are here with a Chiruas squad. Lots of riders riding for teams, but remember, of course, the team competition only kicks in earnest once we get to our finals. This, the first race wave away on qualifier race number 2 in July on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. It's time to go racing in California. It's time to go in Category 6.
Well, Category 6 leave the start pen. 61 riders on the start sheets in Category 6 today. Biggest race field that we have. Let me just caveat the start of this racing. We have 302 riders on the start sheets. The second time ever the men's field has gone over 300 entries. So another record-breaking Sunday on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. And at the moment, the pack rolling strongly and fast out of the start pen here. Tom Harvey on the front of the pack. And so good to see so many new riders joining the Sunday Race Club. Is absolutely fantastic. Pierre Zonta, welcome to the race club, along with everybody else today. In Category 6, well, Maxine Fabra and Mads Winter have gone up to Category 5. We saw some really strong performances from them last week. Leaving Simon Llewellyn here, Vladimir Toro and Brian Jose. Those 3 riders were part and parcel of that top 5 last week. Now, the other record-breaking news I have in the men's race field, and are you sitting comfortably for this?
Sitting, not sure how comfy on this studio stool, but go on.
For the first time ever since we went to 6 categories in either the men's or the women's race field, the leader of the climbs competition and the leader of the sprint competition in each of the 6 race fields in one race did not finish in the top 5 overall.
Wow. That's some serious
It's an
stats.
amazing stat and one I have been waiting for and wondering whether we would ever see. And we saw it last week for Qualifier 1 in Belgium in the men's race. Rune Nielsen is on our screen at the moment. We're in with him at the moment. It's his stats you can see on that white bar at the top of the screen. And also in terms of the zone riding at on the top right-hand corner of the screen, zone 3 at the moment for Nielsen. And you can see him there, got his headphones on, chatting away. And part and parcel of the pack right at the front of the peloton.
Well, good to see our riders in person as well as their avatar in action. And it's world here in California, one of the many worlds that you can ride on MyWhoosh. Do make sure you come and join us. If you want to come and race, well, there's lots of different racing on at different times of the day for riders all around the globe. The riders on MyWhoosh, I have to say, are very, very much a global community with lots of different time zones. So sometimes you do need to surf a little bit to go find which races have got your friends in there. Have to done that before or coordinate it so that you all end up in the same one at the same time. That is always good, but always growing. And that's one of the big things of development, continuous on MyWhoosh. And great to see the improvements coming. Lots of great racing coming up. We've talked already about the UCI World Championships in the women's race. We're not going to do too much of that on the men's race here today, but we might do a little bit more about the MyWhoosh $1 million championships rather than the World Championships, because there's lots of great race routes and courses out there, and we'd love you to be in there. There's a huge entry already in that, and irrespective of what race category you are, it's going to be great to see people in there. We've seen some really interesting races and riders in there, and we saw the arrival of Cam Winfield, a rider who at the moment is looking for a team for the MyWhoosh Championships.
Really?
Yeah, I know. I'd be like, snap him up now. He's a rider who took sprint win. Now, he came to our attention there in that race.
He did, actually. You're quite right. He did indeed take a big sprint win back in 2023. A younger rider then. He's still a young rider now. Jeff Rooney on our screen at the moment. I bet Jeff Rooney will be on the MyWhoosh Championships in August. Jeff Rooney, strong rider, category 6. Yeah, look at that. Thumbs up from Jeff Rooney. He's going to be there. Jeff, I'm going to be there too. And I will give you a big shout out, guaranteed.
Well, shout outs for as many people as we can all the way through. If we don't mention you, don't take it personally. We'll try and do our best to cover everybody and every team and every rider. Now, over the course of each and every month, we're here each and every week. So let's get you your teams. First of all, in category 5, you can see that we've got the BMC Get Racing team here. They've got one rider, as have Level Avengers, the MPCC team, Rycliffe Finland, Team ITU, Team Velos Chile 5, and the ZTBR Yanomami team. Teams with 2 riders, Dirt First, Level Racing. Teams with 3 riders, so Cycling District 5 and Upcycle. The biggest team, team of 4 from Level Up, Mountie, Roy Peterson and Warren. They are going to be heading out from our race start, Category 5, the second race field to go. It's time to go racing here in California on MyWhoosh, the UCI's esports cycling partner for 2024, 25 and 26 so far.
Well, there we go. And Camila Sancho progressing from Category 5 to Category 4 this week. The rest of the riders in Category 5, all 57 of them on my start sheets today. Alalusa, who took 2nd, Brambati, who took 3rd, Mortek, who took 4th, and Pulaka, who took 5th place last week, all in Belgium. All here on the start sheet. Very different race today in California. And do you know, it's really interesting. California, new to the Sunday Race Club in June last year. So it is indeed just over 12 months since California was introduced to the racing. And I'll tell you something, they're taking it by the scruff of the next day. We have been in California 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times before. This is the 6th men's race in California. Category 5, Kevin Horsley holds the record in Category 5 on this course.
Have you got time?
Yeah, I do. Would you like to know what it is?
Go on then.
One
Treat
hour,
me. Why not? It's a Sunday.
1 hour, 19 minutes, and 27 seconds.
Ouch. I say ouch a lot on the Sunday Race Club. I just realised that. But it's true, because there's a lot of effort. It's quite a long way, and it's going to be tough stuff for our riders. So let's see how the riders get on. This is a Category 5 underway. We're in with Nicholas Hagland. So Nicholas Hagland, the rider there, giving us a wave, giving him a wave back. We do, well, I say we. Emma rarely waves. Emma's very absorbed in the stats and the screens. Whereas I wave, which is probably not a good sign, to everybody who waves. So thank you very much, everybody who says hello. Nicholas Hagland, one of our super quick riders, is going to be definitely a rider that we're going to watch out for here in Category 5. This leading group of riders. We are seeing a little bit of a break in the bunch here. 5 seconds the gap between the leading 5 riders in Category 5 and the rest of this bunch, which you can see are waiting behind. Now, we don't often see groups go clear and stay clear on a course of this length, but it can be done if you get the right mix of riders. And Hagland already nicely tucked in that group. This big chasing group behind contains a lot of the big names that we expect to see, but here we go. First of the riders just firing off, wanting to bridge across, and looks to me like that's Martin Wang, who's on the chase at the moment. He's going to be followed though, and it's going to be Mark Datson. No surprises there. Warren's in there, Strill, David Winfield, Rudolph Bertrand, along with Philip Strill, racing, chasing, trying to close the gap down here. They don't want to let this gap go. They saw the danger, they saw the speed, they saw the pace, and with 5 riders gaining 5 seconds and looking very, very smooth indeed up at the front, you can see the gap was enough to instigate the chase behind, and that chase coming, Wang leading the chase. He's going to make contact. Young, Bertrand, Warren, Ivanov are going to pull the rest of this group back, and the group are back together. So, Category 6, first riders away on the left-hand side of your screen, about to hit the climb proper. They're about to go underneath the polka dot archway that indicates the start of the climb. The polka dot, the traditional signifier. That one is kind of significant, signifying
a significant signifying signal.
Indeed, that was sent out to our riders as they go underneath. It's also the same colour as the skin suit that goes through the significant skin suit of that signs the ascent.
The leader in the category climbing competition.
It is. That's enough. Let's go to Category 4 before it disintegrates anymore. Category 4. BMC Racing are here with multiple teams. BMC Racing themselves, as well as BMC4. BMC Racing with 2 riders, BMC Racing with 3. Level Golden 4 have 2 riders as well. All the rest of the teams with 1 in a fight. Peak Power Racing, Team Velos Chile, and the Anzac squad. Remember, of course, team competition really does kick in when we get to the end of the month, but getting team practice in early is not a bad move, and we do see that being a great way to get better results. The more riders you put in a team, the earlier, generally the better they do when we come in towards our finals. It's time for our riders in Category 4 to head out onto the roads of California. They've got 774 meters of ascent. Of that, they're going to find 276 meters of it, while over a third of that on that key climb at the end. But remember, the first climb, Hollywood climb, comes quickly. It's 188 meters. That is going to be tough stuff. Category 4 out from the pen. Reasonably big group going, not too lined out at the moment. Maybe just keeping that powder dry for a little bit later on. All the big names in there, including Mohammed Mukhtari in that group. Nicely tucked in the pack here, one of our real regular riders. And Mukhtari, this is a course I think that will suit him.
Well, Yes, I do agree. The climbing at the end will definitely suit Mukhtari. He's got to be in there, but the climbing at the front is going to suit him as well, so he could well be. Clendenin, Ringborg, Robinson, Quiroz, Bochansky, all in there. Van der Zandt, well, he goes well on a sprint. Let's see how his climbing legs are today. 51 riders on the start sheets in Category 4. When we were here back in March, it was Morgan from Spratt, from Patterson, from Kaplinsky, from Miller. Now, Nicholas Spratt is on the start sheets today. Could be a good course for him. We do know how well he does love a strong climbing race, but there are other strong riders in the mix today, from Adam Dawson to Juan Quiroz, Luke Kendall, El Alami. Well, Taylor Gonsolin is here. Trent Stevenson is here. It's going to be a great race. And I tell you something, Brian White is also in the mix today. In fact, we're in with Brian at the moment. There he is. Perfect timing, Brian, popping up on the screen. Just pulled you out of the start sheets because you know who likes a long climb? Brian White. And boy, is that his special superpower.
I wonder what his friends and colleagues would say if we called him a pure climber.
Oh.
Is he going to be pure climbing material today? Is he going to
be climb long enough?
Is the climb long enough for him? We'll have to see. So, Brian, on our screens, you can see him there busy chatting away, the microphone on there. One of a number of riders that stream their ride as well. So don't forget, if you want to follow a particular ride, you can dive in with them. That gives you that little bit of an insight into them. But, of course, we bring you all of our race categories across the men's and women's racing here on MyWhoosh. Make sure you do give us a subscribe. Tick, follow, like, subscribe on social media. At MyWhoosh on Facebook and Instagram, MyWhoosh on YouTube, and you can catch up with all of the racing. Now, we're going to go a little bit further down the road than categories 4 at the moment, because we're going to go to category 5. At the moment, Luke Allport is not all-porting off the front. He's witnessing Denisenko doing an all-port in front of all-port, which is to go clear of the front of the group as you go into the climb on the early stages of the race. This is territory that Luke Allport loves. He was the king of California for a long time.
Well, he has had wins in California.
Wins.
Yeah, but
I think
the moment,
he was unbeaten, wasn't he, at one stage for a number of wins?
Yes, and in fact, he progressed up to another category and then took a win in that category as well.
Indeed.
If my mind is working. Well, anyway, regardless of that, Denisenko category 5 on the right-hand side of our screen, Luke Allport on the front of the pack behind. They're at 5.7 kilometre marker. They're on the foothills of the Hollywood climb. It's very steep earlier on, and it levels off, and then it gets to 12% at the top. Well, currently on the left-hand side of your screen, 2 kilometres up the road is the category 6 pack. They are well and truly on the climb, 3.5% at the moment. The midsection is the so difficult to say, isn't it?
Easier.
It's the easier section of the climb. Steep early on, steep at the end, a little respite somewhat in the middle.
Well, as those riders make their way up the climb, category 3 are lining up and ready to go. They're going to be hitting the roads very shortly, headed by the Anzac squad. They've got one rider, as have Sandstorm. There are 2 riders for Level Golden and What's Up, respectively. But the Cycling District 3 have 5 riders. Almeida, Andrade, Piera, along with Coimbra and Clamott. They could use those numbers to good effect here today. They're up against some phenomenal riders. Marvin Angarita on storming form. Nick Scolari also the same. I'm going to be really interested to see how those riders do. I mean, he's a real mixture. Hassan Al-Ramethri, the sort of climbs that we know suit him. Kisnowski. Every one of the riders here in category 3, I think, are in with the chance. Emma, any particular riders that stand out to you, particularly based on past performances?
Category 3, that's an interesting one. Now, Marvin Angarita took the win last week. He is on great form. Guarin rode well, Velez rode well. Rafael Amaro has come up from category 4. He took the win in category 4 last week. When we were in Belgium in May, category 3, it was Gates from Clays. I don't know why I'm talking about Belgium. We're in California. I mean,
Yeah, go on.
honestly, can I just shake myself up and rearrange?
Do you need
and
even
actually
more
turn to the
coffee
right
than you
page?
had, or
I
did you have
probably
too
didn't
much
have-
coffee in the break?
I don't know. Actually, do you know what? Can I just say? So in March, in the final, we were in California. In category 3, 8 seconds separated the top 15 riders in category 3. Velez, Ridley, Sledek, Godzari, Paredes were all right up there. Now, some of them have progressed, some of them are still in the category. And I have to say, what I think is really key is the closeness of those top 15 and how hard this course is. Well, Rune Bakken is on our screen. He's been one of the riders who, since he's come into the Sunday Race Club, has been riding really strongly.
Yeah, he took a 3rd place on the Alta de Aguila race
Colombia.
route, which is the Colombian race route. The Aguila course, very similar in a lot of ways because you've got that kick at the end and it's a slightly shorter race route. So I expecting big things today, Rune. No pressure. We'll see if he's able to mix it up at the front of the race. Certainly the climbing should suit him. We will see whether he is there. One of our level golden riders, the Norwegian. Well, let's see if he can climb that. One of the best climbing roads in the world is in a Norwegian fjord.
Is it?
Not fjord.
Fjord.
It's a fjord. It's a Norwegian fjord.
Oh, well, I'll tell you
it
something.
Climbs out the side and it's got almost as many hairpins as the Stelvio, which is should be on everybody's tick list.
Has it?
With the yellow feet.
Well, can I just tell you something? Coming towards the top of the first climb today at the 8.4 kilometre mark, it is indeed the category 6-pack, and Simon Llewellyn is leading the charge. Cadabona, Orrego, Orozco, Diaz, Toro, Garcia's all there. Look at the size of that pack. The category 6-pack split down the mountainside, and you can see that very clearly on the top right-hand corner. But that leading group is a strong leading group, and as soon as they go underneath the banner, we're going to be able to give you the size of the group exactly. But Simon Llewellyn, well, he's on a charge for that polka dot skin suit today. There he is on the screen. He's a regular for us on the Pain Cave shots, and Simon Llewellyn doing a sterling job today. He's had some great rides recently. He took 2nd place last week to Fabra. Fabra's has indeed progressed, but Simon Llewellyn, well, you know what? 2nd place last week. Do you know what I think he wants this week?
Another win.
First.
Well, I think so. And he took one of his wins on the Sunday Race Club. Actually, was at the Alta de Aguila again. So really shows you very similar. Yeah, climbers like climbing, but it is one of those courses that has that kicker at the end. That's a course that suited him racing in this category.
Should I tell you how many riders
field.
are at the top of that Cat 6 race field? That leading group,
lots.
17 riders in that leading group.
Well,
bearing in mind 61 riders on the start sheet, 17 in the leading group at the end of the first climb. That's a lot of whittling.
That's more like chopping it off with a big axe, to be fair. Exactly. That's lopping off a limb and sending it to the floor.
Oh, no. Anyway, category 5.
Enough woodworking terms.
Woodworking terminology. Striel and Vargas, Pulaka and Young, Ivanov and Hagland at the front of the category 5-pack. They are coming up towards the steeper sections. It's a huge group here. Look, they're 5-6 riders wide across the road at the front of that pack.
That's 25, if not 30 riders strong there in that group as they make their way up towards the top of the climb. Striel, the rider that we are in with at the moment, sitting nice and closely to the front of the pack. Really, really key to be closely positioned to the group. You can see Philip Striel on the left-hand side of your screen. He's the avatar on the right-hand side. This is his 18th Sunday Race Club. The majority were in category 4, but then with the big change of race categories that we have had, the shake-up of the dynamic categories that has occurred in July, we have seen riders moving. Striel, well, he's now into Cat 5, and last week in Belgium, 13th place in the racing, so shows that he's going to be strong on a multi-climb race route, and that's what we've got again today. Will he be at the front when we get to the end? We'll have to find out. So much strong competition in all of our race categories with so many riders now participating. Thank you everybody who enters, and a quick shout, do get your entries in fast. Get your entries in for the MyWhoosh Championship. Register for the championships. Please, please, please do it relatively quickly. There is a reason for that, because it does mean that we can do some more homework on you earlier, sooner rather than later. The more riders there are, it does make it more difficult with the
Can I
homework,
tell you
so
how
we
many
can
there
find
are
out.
so far?
You can. I bet you can't tell me whether Jussi Palaka is one of those riders who's already registered.
Not unless he gives us a wave or a thumbs up right now, but he is.
Well, he's got a
There
wave.
you
I'm not
go.
sure whether that's a hello. I'm going to give him a hello wave. I
Well,
don't know
if he's
whether
entered the MyWhoosh Championships, we will indeed see him on that start line. But the MyWhoosh Championships, as of yesterday, 524 men had signed up, 187 women. I did check in the break between the women's and the men's race, and there were 528 men who had signed up. So another 4 since I checked yesterday evening. So they keep on coming, those entries.
So get in there. You'll get all the details sent to you. You get all of the timing sent to you, and all the updates as it comes through. But if you don't register, you can't register late. Don't try and get in afterwards. So get those entries in, get those registrations in.
Entries
for the
close on the 3rd of August.
They do. It's 3rd of August. It might seem like ages, but don't do what I would do. Think, well, this is not true actually. Don't do what Emma would do. Think, I'll do that next week, and then forget to do it. Whereas I would do it right now. I would be multitasking to do it. Emma would put it off and then forget to do it until after the closing date.
Probably. No, I wouldn't, because I'd want to. I tell you something. When it came out, I went, "Oh, I so wish I was doing that." I would be well and truly up for racing the MyWhoosh Championships, and the Category 4 riders are pushing on at the moment. And guess who is at the front? Eric Rimborg, Golden Boy himself.
He is indeed. And anybody who heard the rumour that Emma was threatening to go on strike just so that she could ride the championships, it's a scurrilous statement that has no foundation in truth, or maybe it has. We will find out when we get. Now, Emma will be there on the mic as well. We're really looking forward to it. It was been one of the highlights, I think, of the
Still
last.
wish I could ride it.
Yes, it's one of my commentary highlights of the last 5 years.
It's brilliant.
It's right up
well,
there.
Can I just tell you, last time the MyWhoosh Championships was on in 2023, 124 men started the competition. 524 men have already registered for the competition this time out. So I'm expecting that number, when we get to the start of the MyWhoosh Championships, to obviously be larger than 124.
Well, yes, that would make some kind of sense. I hope that is the case. We will see when we get there. We're going to dive off from the championships. We're going to dive back in with Category 4 here. This is another big pack coming up the Hollywood climb here. Hollywood climb here, for me, one of the key things about the Hollywood climb is it is identical profile up and down, because you basically go up, you go around the loop at the top, and then you go all the way back down again. You know, the Great Duke of York, had 10,000 men, he marched them up to the top of the hill, he marched them back down again. It's kind of that thing. We're marching the groups up the hill, it gets whittled down, they come back down, and they're not bringing the same number down, unlike the Duke of York.
Well, can I just tell you, what I really love about these types of courses, when you are riding and racing them, is that on the transition down, you see the other riders coming up, and it's just fabulous, because very rarely do you get to see that on the Sunday Race Club.
And that mix of riders going up and down, there's groups coming through together, really, really important. Left-hand side, you can see Category 4, quite a long way up here, just seeing riders coming diving down. That was a big group of the Category 5 leaders just come bombing past them, going down at 60 kilometers an hour. They're doing 17k an hour on the way up. So are Category 3, but it's time to set Category 2, our penultimate race category away here today. We have the Abu Dhabi race team here with the one legendary rider, Ivan Nuki. We've got Cycling District 2 with Michel Machado. We've got Gloria Victis with Mark Santo. They're the teams with one rider. With two riders, the Hitmen, Tatu Koiston and Zach Nair. We have the UAE Falcons, Ahmed Al-Thanaji and Zaid Hamdan with two riders. The UAE clan team have three, Mr. X100, Pavlo Popovic and SS, all down on our start sheets today. But they are going to be battling with the multicoloured chocolate confectionery that is the Smarties team.
I like the orange ones.
There's no Netherlands riders in their bunch. Anders Bengston, Giselle Betty, Maritz Ritter, Nikolai Damsgaard and Simon Walter, the Smarties squad, make their way out from the race start along with the rest of Category 2. We're in with Mr. X100, the UAE clan team rider in here from the UAE, making the way from the start, making sure they stay in this group. Remember, this start, it is absolutely spirit level flat. Well, we've had pancake flat, pan flat. Now it's
Spirit level flat.
Yeah.
Only if you've got your spirit level balanced properly is it flat. But Marco Santo at the moment is the rider who is in the pack, who we are in with. It's Mileur is around him, Skierski, Masiek Skierski is in here, Pal Skierski is in here, Dylan Kennett is in here, Cam Winfield. Welcome back to the Sunday Race Club, Cam Winfield. That's one rider we have missed for a while he's been racing out and about.
Maybe you heard me talking about him earlier on.
Maybe. Peter Milostic is there as well. He had a little foray into Category 1 last week, back into Category 2. But there are indeed 52 riders on the start sheets today and some fabulous riders. Coinston, who took the win last week, SS, Damsgaard, Kayan is here, Van he is here. All of those had top fives last week. Daniel Mundell has come up from Category 3. So has David Goodall. That's going to be interesting watching these two riders in the mix. Wow, could be a lot of riders who could ride well here today. Bjarhead, Bjorkland, Morel, Mileur, Kennett, Winfield could go well. Bird is here. Kalman is here. Alexei Kalman could ride well today. Lucas Hayland is in the mix as well. Mohamed Al-Kais is another rider who it's great to see come back to the Sunday Race Club.
Mohamed Al-Kais, a rider who we saw racing
the
in
GCC champs.
The GCC, so that is the Gulf Council. So that was the stage race that we had for them, and he had a real battle. I mean, an absolute real bum fight out there, and battling away with Mr. X100, I think, if I remember on that racing. It was fantastic to see him because it was a stage race. You saw people getting better, some people having good days, bad days. Brilliant to watch, and definitely a fearsome rider in action here today. Bruce Bird, one of our real strong riders. I tell you what,
resplendent in his.
Yeah, sorry. If you were to say to me, name me a rider who's going to go well in the MyWhoosh Championships on the longer race distances and multi-day, Bruce Bird would be right at the top of the tree, right up in my hit list of riders, because he's a rider that we know can do the distance. We know that he's good on those long distance race routes. And again, a rider
and when
who
it gets hard.
Yeah, he's good when it's a hard race. He's good at the longer distances. He's going to have that recovery nailed. He's an experienced rider, and I think that counts when you go to the stage racing. Don't forget, the stage races for the MyWhoosh Championship, like the Sunday Race Club, they are races that you do need to follow certain guidelines and rules. So they're open to anybody, but you do have to have a minimum specification. So please do make sure, if you want to know which races have what, jump on board the MyWhoosh web pages. Make sure that you go to the event and read the rules and regulations. Emma knows them off by heart. I have read them on multiple occasions and don't, but they are there to reference. So if you're wondering which races can you go in, because there is some substantial prize money and it is the best racing, the verification requires a certain level of equipment. That means that applies for the MyWhoosh Championships, the World Championships, and for the Sunday Race Club. So do make sure you go on there. Less stringent rules and regulations apply to different types of racing, whether it's a TTT or it's just a race for fun. Do have a look. There's lots of races for everybody in different types. Sorry, Emma.
And, well, the time has gone for what I wanted to say.
Well, snooze you lose.
Time of a moment, or just, snooze you lose. I don't think I was the one snoozing. But anyway, Category 1 are down in the start pen, and the teams are lined up. Alpha Jaw are here. The squad, that is the Alpha Jaw. The Yasin took a third place last week. Kaminsky, Jones, and Turek join him. Boss moves only. I always argue which one is the boss because they are all superb. Osborne, Knudsen, Vink, and Safra Zaidi back on the squad. He wasn't here last week. He was out on the road doing superb road racing. The Farm Watts squad are here. Andreasen, Pucker, and Harris. Pucker took second place last week with that big push, that big drive in Belgium. HC NSVE, Wu is here. He took fifth. Lewis is representing the Union of Speed. And Pedersen, well, the Wenger boys are in town.
Well, it's party time. It's time to go party. It's Category 1. It's Qualifier race number 2 in July. The MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club is the final race field away from our start pens, heading out onto the roads of California. They're all dreaming of the win. but in front of them, 45 kilometers, 774 meters of ascent. This is all about being at the front at the right time with those key moments, the crunch parts of the climbs, the sprints, and of course, at that finishing line at the 45-kilometer mark.
Are they California dreaming? Or are they stuck in Hotel California?
Yes. I was sorry, I was deep in thought there, singing away in my head, just thinking, can I actually repeat any of the lyrics from either live on it? Probably not with my singing, to be fair, no matter what the lyrics are.
Well, I'll tell you something who is pushing on those pedals at the moment, and that's Bjorn Andreasen. And he is the rider pushing on and just stretching the legs. Josh Harris, Joel Lewis, Christoph Flubus, Mikhail Kaminski, all at the front of the pack, but at the front of the Category 2 race, Lucas Hayland is the rider chasing down X100, because X100, we know he doesn't like to wait. We know he likes a hard race. Hayland crossing over, outcased the next rider coming over, then Bird, then Winfield. Nobody wants to let X100 go. And Category 2 race field, always such strong action. 31 seconds separated the top 4 teams. When we were in California last time. Yes, teams, 31 seconds. 39 seconds separated the top 21 riders in California. Expect a big group to come into the finish line today at the top of Spring Road Climb. It's a huge course with 774 meters of climbing, but this Category 2 pack are so tightly matched that it gives hard, great racing. And we even see sprints at the top of mountains.
And this group could take this away from being
a sprint. You don't want that 7 riders to go away, I'll tell you.
Well, it's swollen as well, actually. I think that we're now at 8. We are seeing people trying to bridge across. Damsgaard on the move at 7 watts per kilo. He's realised the danger. So has SS. He's come across. This, for me, could be a group that could go if they work. The problem is behind, the alarm bells rang, then it rang even louder, and then it reached a stage where basically everybody has gone after them because they just can't afford to let these riders go. You can just see Mohamed Al-Kaisi at the moment just jumping onto the back of this group, just making sure he stays in position there, following SS, Santo, Winfield and co. Then go into that right-hand turn. We're going into the climb. And I think for me, that's one of the things that we saw from Mr. X100 there. We see him push early just before the climb, maybe 1-2K out, going into the climb and extending the effort on the climb, making it more his climb.
Yeah, they're just coming out of Toon City and onto the Hollywood climb. Now, if you're new to MyWhoosh and you're watching this for the first time and you think, oh, wow, those graphics look great. Toon City, part and parcel of this race course, but also part and parcel of the downtown LA course in California, which is one of the flattest courses in California. So if you are looking to enjoy the graphics, also goes down to the harbor, into the city and through the amusement park. It is one of the it's one of my favorite courses, particularly if you want a steady flat ride.
Sounds good to me. Don't put big hills in my climbs, in my race routes, in my riding routes.
Well, these big hills on this course are challenging our riders at the moment. Category 6, the first riders out of the pen. We're in with Yusuf Al-Hamadi. He's at the 16.4 kilometre marker. 14.9, the Category 4 pack are churning up the climb at the moment. And look at them. 1 or 2 riders pushing on at the moment, but the pack chasing hard behind. Category 1 and Category 2. Well, Category 2 are on the base of the climb now. Category 1, not there yet.
Okay, well, we are going to make our way out as I think Emma's caffeine has kicked in the studio. Can't get word in edgeways makes a change. It's usually the other way around. Oh, that was indeed the first thing thrown across the studio here today. In my direction, not just a paper aeroplane makes a change. So onto the climb and the moment of
no commentators
going
are hurt
up and
in the
over
studio.
the top. Indeed, no commentators ever hurt in the studio. So much as the banter it does go back and forth. Don't forget, you can get in touch with us, and we do get to see that. Now, great to see Yusuf Mirza Al-Hamadi here out and riding. You can just see on that bike there, just keeping cool and And at the moment, he's just got the Category 5 riders in and around him, just on the far side. He's already reached. This is what I find incredible. We get Category 1 away, and our Categories 5 and 6 riders, they're already, they're over a third of the way through the race route. They're absolutely hurtling.
They started 35 minutes ago.
And you can see the pace here, the pressure. Al-Mahdi here, he's got that group in front. And at the moment, I think there's a little bit of a push here from Al-Mahdi here to just jump onto the back of that group, get that draft, and try and hide from there. You'll see the Watts numbers go green.
Worthwhile as well, because the group in front of him, the Category 5 group, have sat up. They're on the descent. They're taking some recovery. If Al-Mahdi can close that gap down and get into that draft, he's there going to benefit and get even more recovery, but move at a faster pace. He's doing exactly what he needs to do.
Travelling at 47, 48 kilometres an hour on this downhill. Still plenty of downhill to come for him to sit in on the wheels as we move across to the very front of the race. Peter Connell, the rider at the top of your screen, is way at the front. He's got a little bit of a gap to Cadabona, followed by Abbott, Jose Garces, Llewellyn, Milano. Big group of riders behind. If you look at the top right-hand side of your screen, that is your radar view, if you like, of the riders. Each of those purple discs representing a rider. Where there's multiple discs, there's multiple riders. The race route unfolding in front of them. And you can see the red line across, that is the course profile. The rider's position indicated with a yellow vertical line, and the course moves from right to left from the edge of the screen into the center of the screen. Now, let's go from our first group of riders away to our last group of riders away. And Emma now pondering David Nitko's move to go clear here.
That. Well, David Nitko is the rider pushing on here at the front of the Category 1 pack, and they're at 4.7k. Now, the Hollywood climb is the first climb that our riders face today. Comes at the 5.5 kilometre marker, so this is an interesting move. He's pushing on before the climb to see if anybody does the chasing, and if anybody does the chasing, who is it? Who wants to close the gap down? Well, at the moment, Nitko is being allowed to go clear. Well, that tells me that the riders behind, they are confident they are going to catch Nitko on the climb. It depends, I think, on how big that gap gets.
And David Nitko is very representative of the riders who yo-yo between Category 1 and Category 2. He's quite literally bounced almost equally between the two. He's done...
on the cusp.
Yeah, he's done 51 Sunday race clubs in total so far. This is 52nd, and I think it's pretty much half of them in Category 2, half in Category 1. So right on that boundary between there.
Category 2, Side Carradine on our screen at the moment, rightly ensconced in the middle of that Category 2 pack. And, well, that is a huge Category 2 pack. I think we've got one rider off the front at the moment, and this is the chase group by the look of it. And I think the riders who are clear are up and over, but this is a huge pack. So Carradine is in here with Milostic, Patterson, Bird, X100, Graves, Simmons, Guerra, all in here. Gombert, Miller, Kennett, all in this group. David Darn is in here as well as Cam Winfield. It is a class race field, but it's Carlos Ramirez who is clear. Now that is a seriously interesting move.
Yes, it certainly is. I mean, you don't want to let anybody go. Carlos Ramirez, who's gone clear here, he's taken a win on the Sunday Race Club already. He was in Category 3. That was on the 18th of May. He's in Category 2. He moved up in June, and he's been improving. His best result in Category 2 was last week, in fact, in Belgium, 11th place, but a rider who clearly is going well. And
but you know what?
A raft of best power performances recently show that he's improving his performance as well as his results.
Yeah, and do you know what I think is sometimes when you're not quite getting into the top 10, but you're there or thereabouts for most of the race. You know, there is Carlos Ramirez Cardona on our screen, and you can see him on that bike in his pain cave. Look at that. Absolutely fabulous. But one of the things, when you're there or thereabouts and you're in that around 10th to 15th place, you have to try something different. Because if you don't try something different, you never know what's going to happen. And at the moment, Ramirez is trying something different. He's gone out hard on the front of the group.
And that's a very
look at the effort going in there. That's just brilliant.
I'm torn between looking at what is a very, very nice bike to be riding at any point in any place, and Well, no, and the effort that is going in, and you can see what it takes to go clear on here. That gap, it's extending, if anything, up to 16, 17 seconds. Now, Ramirez has got a long way to go, but remember that there is very little flat on this race route. We basically go down in through Toon City once again. We climb over the hill into Alcatraz. We then climb up through towards the base of Mount Uminum. Then we climb up again. Then we drop down and we go across the bumpy section through San Francisco, back onto the Hawk Hills climb, drop off that onto the big final climb. Absolutely frantic pursuit behind Carlos Ramirez, taking the polka dot skin suit. No surprises there as the fastest rider up the climb in category 2, but behind, after that little flurry of acceleration, the riders behind have sat back down again, and it may give him a chance to go clear. Meanwhile, Jason Osborne on the move at 8.5 watts per kilo with Michael Vink chasing. So is Woo, so is Puckett Jones and Van Elst. Knudsen is in there as well. They do not want to let the elastic snap to Jason Osborne and Michael Vink, who are on the move. Michael Vink on our screens.
Well, Woo covering the move, and so is Van Elst. Van Elst is a little bit further back. Michael Knudsen, who's been very proficient in the climbing competition over the recent weeks, is going to be interesting to see what he does as these three riders now start to go clear. So Vink on our screen at the moment, and you can see the big screen in front of him. So Vink, Osborne and Woo, that would be a dangerous trio to let go down the road because each one of those riders could take a win. Osborne took the win last week. Vink was fourth. Woo was fifth. They are regularly in the top 5. Hayden Pucker, well, he is on form at the moment, and it's going to be interesting to see what he does. But at the moment, he's pushing on some great big numbers. Lionel Vuyasin on our screen now. The fire has been lit underneath the riders. They are being pushed now because of Pucker trying to transition over to the 3 riders going clear. But Vink, Woo, and Osborne 5 seconds up the road. Pucker chasing. Vuyasin on his wheel. Knudsen now there. So is Van Elst and Jones. Wow, this first climb in category 1. This is the race, and the race is now on.
And Woo is a phenomenal rider. I mean, we've seen him take away a number of podium positions, top 3 positions. Not yet had a win on the Motor Sunday race, but he's had seconds, he's had thirds, but he's not yet cracked that top spot. Will today be the day with all this climbing in between? Because he clearly goes well. You can see that from his race results when the climbing is hard. Now,
well, Carlos Ramirez, we saw him climbing hard as well in category 2. He's on the right-hand side of your screen. The pack have caught him on the descent and gone straight up and over the top. And this is the challenge here now, because Ramirez has got to get back in the group. And when the pack are rolling, they're rolling so fast, it's hard to get back on. You have to anticipate the catch, and you have to lift your pace before the catch is made, because lifting your pace after the catch is made, you end up in this position.
66 kilometers an hour, 67 kilometers an hour, the speed of the bunch as it came down onto him. And the problem is solo, you just can't do that kind of speed. The bunch is doing that. So you have to put in what is effectively a big sprint. And that is the danger of going clear. You almost want to wait at the top of the climb and go down with the group. Now, there isn't that luxury for the riders in category 1. Ollie Jones on the move here, trying to close across the 4-second gap back to Woo. Woo chasing it our 2 leaders. That is Vink and Osborne. There's not a lot of time between those riders. It's a matter of fractions of a second. They are almost together as they come to the top of the climb. And Jones here putting in a huge effort to go across. He can see that the train is leaving the station. He wants to be on it. He knows he has to make that move and close that gap down before the distance increases, because he's a solo rider against 3 here. These 3 could work together and go clear.
Well, I'll tell you something, they're blowing the whistle and closing the doors at the moment on Ollie Jones, because the 3 riders at the front, Osborne, Vink and Woo, are on the flat section at the top at the moment. And before it goes down, Jones has got to close this down. He's at 8 watts per kilo at the moment at the top of the climb, because he wants that back wheel of Jason Osborne's. He's going to make contact before the descent here. So Ollie Jones closes the gap onto Osborne, Woo and Vink. He's got his suitcase through that closing door, allowing him to sneak through afterwards. He's on the group. The group are moving. 4 riders clear in category 1 at the top of the Hollywood climb. Jason Osborne setting the fastest time. Ramirez in category 2, Becker in category 3, Yulin in category 4, Striel in category 5, and Llewellyn in category 6. 6 minutes 03, the fastest, 9:06 from Llewellyn in category 6. Great climbing from all.
Yeah, fantastic climbing as they go up that climb. It shows you that climb just sub 10 minutes for the leaders in each of our race categories. Osborne's time, the fastest time up there today as he makes his way down. You can see at the moment in category 6 at the very front, Cadabona is the rider with that gap to Llewellyn, and onto the big screen they come, because at the moment they are at 25.8k, and that means that they're fast approaching the summit of Mount Umanum. That's the second of our 3 categorized climbs today. The first one that we've just seen, category 1, go over, Hollywood climb. The second of them, the Mount Umanum. We don't include the Hawk Hills climb in that categorization on this version of the course, but the Spring Road climb is the last. Over the top goes Cadabona. Llewellyn is following him. Llewellyn was the fastest up climb, won. It looks like he scored enough points.
He's the
there.
fastest up Mount Umanum as well.
So Cadabona being closed down there now. Llewellyn, you can see shutting down the throttles. 1.51 watt per kilo. So is Cadabona.
The pack are not far behind, you know.
No, I think that's going to come together.
16 riders now over the top of Mount Umanum in category 6. Llewellyn leading the charge in terms of fastest time. Cadabona, Garcias, Milano, Ozoko, Abbott, Stretching, Toro is in there as well. And as I said, 16 riders potentially still in contention in category 6.
Now, just a little bit out from our next rise in the road, the Category 2 riders have descended from the Hollywood climb. They've gone down in and along through Toon City before going into this rise. You can see the road rising up here. It takes you over the top and down into Alcatraz and into that sprint. Mr. X100 has gone and pushed on at the front. He's been joined by Bruce Bird at the front. Now we're seeing Van Hee, we're seeing Halen, we're seeing Winfield try and go across Matthias Van Hee on the move. Again, course that suits. Riders that are suited to Belgium generally are suited to the California course. We've seen both those courses in the first 2 qualifiers. Today we're in California, qualifying 1 we're in Belgium. Very similar riders excel here, and you can see Matthias Van Hee, even though he's chasing on, time to look across and give us a quick wave. It shows you that he's comfortable, he knows what he's doing, he knows where he's at, he's got the awareness of what's happening around him. Van Hee with Betty Halen, Santa, they're going to make the junction here. Graves is not far behind, neither is Skierski. Malor is also in that group. They have work to do, though, because they do need to keep pushing as they go up this climb. They will want to close the gaps down. They will want to keep the gaps to a minimum all the way over the top and down into the Alcatraz sprint, because that sprint is a very fast one off the descent off this climb.
Well, interestingly, next week for Qualifier 3, the men are on the Dragon's Nest course in Japan, which for me is very similar to California and Belgium. Short, steep climbs. Then it all changes. Big start for the final, because the July final, the men and the women are heading up the Jebel Hafeet, and we've not been there this year.
Have we not?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm good. Hold on. You talk. I'll look. I'm sure we haven't been there this year. You're now making me doubt myself. Don't ever make me doubt myself.
Well, I'm not sure it's doubting you. It seems quite incredible that we have not been there. Thank goodness we're going back. If that is the case, it will be confirmed by Emma very shortly, whose dexterous fingers are digitally moving the digital screen. 2 digitals in one sentence, never good English. As she looks to just double check the.
No, never put the same word twice in the same sentence. No, the last
same word in the same sentence. That was 2 sames.
There you go. The last time we were on the Jebel Hafeet was the 2024 finale.
Wow.
So thank you very much. I was indeed correct.
Yeah, it's quite incredible, and that's not good, because it is one of my favourite climbs, and I do like the fact that we've got a big climb to finish off the finals.
We've never had 6 categories race on the Jebel Hafeet. Because, of course, in December, we were still on 4 categories.
I'm trying to have a little think back to one of the GCCs, maybe. No.
4 categories.
Yeah. Well, there we go. It will be a first of many things for the Jebel Hafeet. And it is the first for a number of our riders to climb the Jebel Hafeet then, because we have had a lot of new riders joining us.
We have,
since the end of 2024. Thank you very much if you have joined us riding, or if you're joining us watching. Don't forget you can watch all of the action on MyWhoosh. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, make sure you subscribe to YouTube, and don't forget you will be notified not just when the racing comes on, but also great features, insights into the team, some of the team that are sponsored by MyWhoosh. I have to say, whilst we're talking about sponsored riders, what an amazing Tour de France so far. If you have not watched it, do give it a watch.
Did you just bang the desk?
I did. Yeah, in emphasis of the point, quite simply because MyWhoosh is one of the key sponsors and supporters of the UAE Emirates team, the XRG team, as it is now. And it has been right at the forefront with lots of different riders up there, not just Tadej Pogačar, who's a very nice guy and is really set the sport alight, but the whole of the team is fantastic. And it's great to see MyWhoosh logos just on the back of the jersey as they disappear off into the distance. It does give me a little bit of self-satisfaction that a team that ride on MyWhoosh, that jump on board and are supported by MyWhoosh, are out there at the very front, putting down some amazing moves in what is one of the best vintages of the Tour. And it shows you what stage racing can be, whether that's on MyWhoosh or it's on the slopes of France. And this is great racing. This is what we want to see in the championships.
And this is Ryan Giuliano battling with Yu Lin for the polka dot skin suit. And Lin, I think, is going to take this. He's already in it, but he's absolutely dialing this here. And they're at the 26-kilometer marker. They are absolutely motoring here in California. On to the descent now, underneath the Mount Umunum banner. Lin backing off of the pace. Butch there as well. El Alami, Kadir Stevenson, Dawson, Voschek, Barchansky, all in the mix. What a category 4 pack. It is flying. 24 riders in that leading group.
And with 24 riders in that group going up there, very smart timing being put down there by Woos, who went over the top there. Fantastic to see him timing it and sprinting at the right time. Meanwhile, category 1, it's all the predictions of our leading group staying clear. Well, throw those out the window, start again, because guess what? We got riders coming up and they're coming at speed. The leading group clearly didn't get their act together, didn't manage to make it stick. And behind, Michael Knudsen is on his way. He's going to make contact behind him. You've got Hayden Puckey, you've got Lionel Vajassin, Stefan Van Elm, Mikhail Kaminski. But Stefan, they're on the way. This has been bridged back.
I can't believe it.
That was almost Victor Meldrew, for those of you who remember the dodgy TV series from the 2000s. Kaminski, great ride by him. They've got to make this stick, though. And that's the difficult thing, because you can see that there is a good chance that at the very front of this race, Osborne in the white is going to kick again and try and break clear. The counter-attack that could come now is always a difficult moment. And these four are on the limit. They very much so. Now, quickly down into category...
Look who it is! Yeah. Come on!
Category 2 sprint, downhill sprint. You've got to make the momentum over the top. Bruce Berg goes for it. He goes flying through there. Olivier Bigley Ollie Simmons is the rider who's holding the green sprint skin suit. But Bird on that descent, he will take, I think, the fastest segment time going through the Alcatraz sprint. I'm just going to do a double check. Oh, no, he's not. Simmons has taken it through the bunch there. But I tell you what, is Bird going to go for a long one here? 6 watts per kilo.
Wouldn't put it past him. I tell you something, he's settling into time trial pace around 5 watts per kilo at the moment. Milieu, Halen, Van He, Kenneth, Betty, all on the front of the pack behind. They're going to want to close it down. Bird now sees them coming, backs off slightly, taking a bit of a rest, then picks up the pace again because he doesn't want to work his way through the pack and out the other side.
And you've got a long, gradual climb here. It's kicking at the moment at around about 2%, which is enough to feel the bite on your legs to keep that chain tight. And the riders, as they come out from that Alcatraz straight, you've got a screaming sprint into it, that downhill descent, picking up pace in the back, going out the other side. If you put the pressure on now, It eases, it's got a couple of bits of respite, but essentially it's uphill all the way now to the summit of Mount Umanum. And any brief respites are only going to just jelly those legs. They're just going to do that nasty little trick because it's going to break up the rhythm. The big Category 2 group are all together. Category 1 have come back together again as well. We're going to go to the other end of the race categories, to Category 5 and 6, up near the very head of the race at the moment, because the riders making their way in and around this group at 31.1k. They're on the way in towards the San Francisco sprint. Basically, they come down here, they take a left-hand turn at the T-junction, and you're immediately into the sprint. And that is really critical. Joachim Skretting has already gone through that point and headed out over the Golden Gate Bridge. He's being followed at the moment by Toro, who is currently at what is going to be 6 seconds. So is Nielsen, Milano. I think we've got Garces in there as well as Rademacher. So a big group of riders behind our race leader, Joachim Skretting. The Category 6 leaders over the bridge on the Golden Gate Bridge, heading their way. Well, look at this. Cameron Dadson is he just hung back a little bit, then put in the kick here as Mark Dadson goes clear.
I love it.
Dadson and Dadson is not something from Tintin. Those are, I think, with the Dobson pair. This
You
is
like on old TV shows today.
I've gone back to what
Even
anyway.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, that's probably good. I think as we see both Dadsons on the way down here now, Cameron Dadson trying to lead Mark Dadson through the sprint here. But I tell you something, Joel Warren's having none of it. He's gone off the front here. Big power, big waltz, big sprint from Joel Warren going through. That was you can play your games, but I am the rider in green and I have the power.
I have the power. Well, Joel Warren did indeed have the power, and he's now sat back up. He's in that green skin suit. Cameron Dadson, Mark Dadson, Diego Vargas. That Category 5 pack are coming behind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 riders in that Category 5 pack. It's getting smaller and smaller, but 15 riders still at the front of that race.
An interesting riding there by Joel Warren to take away that big sprint, that big kick there. Meanwhile, on the Category 1 race, we've got the rider in the sprinter's jersey, the same as the rider in the climber's jersey. And hidden underneath 2 further layers, those 2 extra layers, is the world champ's jersey, because Jason Osborne at the moment, he's clearly he needed some more items for his wardrobe because he's been out collecting them at the moment. Clearly feeling a chill despite the heat wave that's blowing through Europe at the moment, because he's holding all of those. He is in a duo of riders with Michael Vink behind Knudsen and Pucker, with Kaminsky, Fu, Van Elst, and Vajassin just about holding on.
Yeah, that leading group of 4 were caught. We did question whether they were going to break again, because there was indeed a small gap in the action. But it looks as though Osborne and Vink have pushed on, and those 2 riders now 5 seconds clear. Hayden Pucker leading the charge again with Michael Knudsen. Those 2 were instrumental. Wu and Jones in the chase group now, not in the leading groups. The question is, what can Pucker do? He put in a phenomenal performance last week, Hayden Pucker, towards the end of the Belgium course. In fact, Osborne had to do 11 watts per kilo to close the gap last week to Pucker. He went over the top of Pucker, and Pucker held for 2nd place. At some point, Pucker's going to launch an attack and he's going to win the Sunday Race Club. And if he'd have held it a bit longer, Osborne wouldn't have been able to close that gap last week.
I couldn't believe USA champion for 2025, Hayden Pucker, a rider with so much power, so much pace, so much strength, hadn't got a win, and that's something that we are expecting to change very, very shortly. It is only a matter of time on the Sunday Race Club. Let's go over to a rider who's had plenty of wins, and I'm sure would like plenty more. Mr. X100, just making his way through the fenced compound in Alcatraz. The ancient fort that was turned to a prison has subsequently became a visitor destination and a film set as well. The Rock being set there, fictitious story, film story. Starring Sean Connery.
Can't say I've seen that.
You're not missing a huge amount.
Oh, well, there we go.
No, don't put it on your bucket list of films to watch. You know,
You wait, it'll be somebody's favourite.
If The Rock is your favourite film, the film about Alcatraz and Sean Connery and the I don't want to give a spoiler on the film in case somebody hasn't seen it.
No, don't give a spoiler.
But anyway, if that's your favourite film, do let me know. I very much doubt anybody's going to get in touch with that. I'd rather know, to be honest, if you like this course, is this your favourite course? Just say, Betty.
Can I just say, Giselle Betty, category 2 in the pack here.
Yeah.
He holds the category 2 record on this course. 1 hour, 10 minutes, 30 seconds is the category 2 record held by Betty, and he set that on the 8th of December last year. Now, we know he is on really good form at the moment, but the pace of the pack, obviously instrumental in the time that is going to be set today.
And Giselle Betty, when he first joined us, a long time ago, admittedly, he actually was actually in the category 3 back in 2023, in the summer of 2023. He was in category 3, quickly went through category 2, then he's yo-yoed. He's another one of these riders who's right on that border between category 1 and category 2. So it means when he is in category 2, now dependent on where that boundary falls, because it is a dynamic boundary to give great racing, it does vary a little bit, and on his form as well, varying, it does change. He's got 7 wins so far, and I wouldn't put it past him taking another win here today. Meanwhile, let's go back into category 1 because the chase is still on. Vink and Osborne are hovering at 5 seconds. They are not pulling clear by a substantial margin. This group need to work together, and I think they are here. We're seeing turn and turnabout, but what will damage it will be if somebody attacks. On a climb here, they all know that they're going to push up this steep section and over the top.
The interesting
they've got to keep it together here.
Is these 4 riders have dropped Vuyasin, Kaminsky and Jones.
Yeah.
So the 3 riders from the Alpha Jaws squad, I mean, Jones was part and parcel of the original breakaway. So we've now got 2 riders, 4 riders, 3 riders, 3 different groups on the road now in category 1.
Well, they need to get across and they need to do it. They're holding that 5-second marker at the moment, and they don't want to drop anybody else because, for me, part of the issue here is what you don't want to do is basically give yourself the position by give that position to the leaders of being in a majority. You want 4 riders v2. You don't want to go across to them, find yourself in no man's land, and you've got the chasing group in one's. And then you're in single riders versus Osborne and Vink. That isn't going to work. You need a group, and you need that group to be there together. At the moment, they're taking advantage of the fact they're in with Carlos Ramirez, and Ramirez just about holding on to the wheels in the polka dot skin suit in category 2.
And let's not forget, Ramirez went on the climb in category 2, and then when the pack caught him on the descent, he couldn't stay in the mix. And Ramirez at the 23.8 kilometre marker, the lead of category 2 at the 25 kilometre marker. So he's now 1.1 kilometres behind.
And he's going to have to pull something really special out, I think, to take away the climbing win here today. He's got to. I know he's sitting in with this group to get a fast time overall, but I think now he needs to think about how does he save his legs for those climbs, because when you're on the climb, you can see Mistakes 100 at the moment is really pushing on here, and this is going to elicit a response from the group behind. That's going to pull that pace up on Mount Umunhum, and that means that they are now chasing Mistakes 100 at the moment at 13 seconds. He's got that gap. He's opened the gap on the rest of the group, and behind, at some point, one of these days, they're going to let him go just that little bit too far, and he will solo into that finish for an absolutely classic victory. Olivier Simmons leading the charge behind, 6 watts per kilo. That little bit of a kick as they went over that steep section. You can see Olivier on the left-hand side of your screen in person with the medals on the wall beside him here. He really needs to keep pushing. Always earned, never given, it says over his medal rack. Nice phrase.
There we go. Pushing on at the moment. There you go. Look at that. The pack coming around the corner behind. The pack is wide across the road at the moment, and Simon Walter and Olivier Simmons right on the front with Cam Winfield. Paul Skierski is there as well. The gap is coming down. Simmons now really pushing on at the top of the climb. Simmons just really, we've known him as a great sprinter. He's also a great climber. He's got a really great balance between the two. And when the climbs get steep, he is just so so strong. So Simmons now pushing on, and the gap coming down. It's now at 8 seconds. I think this pack will close X100 down on the descent, like we saw earlier with the other categories.
I can really shock you. We were talking about sort of shocking stats. How long has it been since Olivier Simmons took a podium position, a top three position in category 2? You ready for this?
Simmons. Go on then.
I'm working back. Just talk amongst yourselves for 2 minutes.
Really?
I'm going a long
No
way back.
That can't
January 2024 was the last time on a Sunday race club when he had a podium position.
I'll tell you something.
Unless I've missed it scrolling through, but I'm pretty certain that's when it is.
He's taken a number of climbing competitions, and he's taken a number of sprint competitions. Maybe his focus has just changed. But at the moment, Pau Skierski is on the screen, and take a look at the work and the effort being done by Skierski. He's right at the front here. He's pushed on at the top of the climb, and he's closing that gap down to X100. The gap is now at 4 seconds. Nair, Gombet, Mandela are all there. Yep, big, good wave, big breath. Really important here. Skierski, Carradine, Graves, Cowman, all in the mix.
Sorry, I can't take a big breath at the same time as drinking.
Did wonder what was going on the other side of the studio there. But this pack,
taking
this pack of category 2 riders, they're at the top of Mount Umunhum. They've gone up and over the top. They're now coming down the other side. Oh, just.
Do you know what? It's going to be really, really telling. The speed that Michael Vink and Jason Osborne closed that gap down.
30 riders still in that group in category 2.
Well, those 30 riders are going to be seeing these two riders very quickly indeed, because Michael Vink and Jason Osborne at the moment are absolutely flying. They've just come over the top of Mount Umunhum themselves.
Yeah, they have.
And that shows you just how fast they are moving. They've opened the gap up, and it's gone back out to the chasing group behind. The group behind have not been able to make the most of the terrain. The moment it went skywards, going up that climb, that gap has gone back out once again, and now the chase is on. So over the top of the climb they go. 30 plus seconds between our race leaders and the chasing group of 3.
Well, can I tell you also what's changed? That was a chasing group of 4, but Van Elst has dropped back to join Vujasin, Kaminsky and Jones. So it's now 2, 3, 4, not 2, 4, 3. Well, Michael Vink sets the fastest time up Mount Umunhum, 2 minutes 55 seconds. I'll tell you something, Olivier Simmons is not far behind, just 4 seconds slower. Nicholas Becker in category 3, 3 minutes and 2. Look how phenomenal climbing. Michael Pruitt, category 4, 3:12. Arthur Sciorra, category 5, 3:20. And 3:46 from Cameron Dadson in category 6.
And we did say in category 2 that the pressure that had been put on by Mr. X100 was going to produce a fast time up that climb. And that would put the initial leader in the mountains competition, Carlos Ramirez, in trouble. Ramirez is still to go over the top of the summit. So it may be that he's able to pull something special out on that climb. But at the moment, certainly Olivier Simmons taking those points there. And that's added to his points haul overall. Remember, there are prizes for the fastest up each individual climb in each of our categories and for the overall. As once again, in category 2, Mr. X100 is stretching this out. He's at the 29-kilometer marker, and we've got a way to go. There is a little dip and rise before we get to the San Francisco sprint, but you can see on the course profile coming up, it starts to get bumpy. We then dip down, it rises a little bit, and then we go into the sprint, and then we are going over the Hawk Hills climb. Not a categorized climb here today, but it's a very tough climb in its own right.
Yeah.
Do you want to bring us the stats on that little bit of
the Hawk
course?
Hills climb is quite interesting. It's 1,000 meters in length with an average gradient of 5%, but there is a steep bump halfway up that kicks to 9% and more. It used to be a categorized climb when we used California early on. It's not a categorized climb anymore, but it will be potentially instrumental in breakaways because it is the last climb before we get to the Spring Road climb. To be honest, if we've got a big group like we've got in Category 2, I'd expect them just to ride it together because the main work will be done on the Spring Road climb when they get to 37.5 kilometres into this race.
So as we approach the 30-kilometre marker with Category 2 on qualifier race number 2 on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club for July, we're here in California. All 6 race categories in the women's competition and in the men's competition have hit the roads. The women's race in Belgium, the men's race in California. We move on for qualifier race number 3 and right the way through to our monthly finals. Emma Martin and myself, Matt Payne, will be putting words to all of the action all the way through the month and into the championships. Really looking forward to that. Do please make sure you give Emma a follow. It's at biking_Emma. Don't forget you can join the Full Speed Events team time trial league club thing that is happening. Basically, it's team time trial. And Emma and Emma Martin, Holly Bergen are doing the admin for you. So basically, get in touch with them. You can get there from the MyWhoosh info front page, or you can message them, and they will get you into a time trial team and out and racing. Great way to get racing. Great way to meet people on the bike and other riders on MyWhoosh as well, and to all improve as well, which is great. You can get in touch with me. It's at Matt Fixer Payne. Do give us a follow. It really is appreciated. We are definitely not influencers. We are most definitely people involved in the sport. And thank you, everybody who
influencers.
Yeah, and thank you, everybody who has messaged already about our run earlier on. You'll have to watch the women's show if you want to know what that was all about.
Well, can I just say the other thing to keep your eyes peeled for? Well, we've been talking about the Sunday Race Club. We've been talking about the MyWhoosh Championships. We were talking in the women's race about the World Championships and the qualifying races and that piece written by the Zmunique. Chris and I on the Virtual Velo podcast have a MyWhoosh guest coming up later on. It is our next guest because Matt Smithson will be joining us to talk all things MyWhoosh, the MyWhoosh Championships, the World Championships, and hear it from the man in charge who will be joining us on the Virtual Velo podcast. So keep your ears peeled for that one. Well, at the moment, ears are peeled. I'm not quite sure the ears are peeled, but Vink and Osborne's legs are powerful because these two are pushing on. And I tell you something, that Category 2 leading pack is not far up the road from them. I think they are going to make the catch to that Category 2 pack at some point in the race. They're riding side by side at the moment on the Sunday Race Club. On the left-hand side of your screen, the Category 2 pack, well, they are now on your screen at the 31.8 kilometre marker. At 30 riders in this leading group, and attack after attack after attack going on at the moment. They're coming through the sprint now, and it's Olivier Simmons at 14 watts per kilo going head to head. Cam Winfield is in there as well. These riders pushing on. Simmons, wow, what can I say? But interesting. So Olivier Simmons setting the fastest time in Category 2. He's in that green skin suit. The rider next to him, Nicolas Fournier, in Category 3, also in the green skin suit, making the most of being caught by the Category 2 pack to take the draft through the sprint. Fournier taking the green skin suit in the Category 3 race, alongside Simmons taking the Category 2 green skin suit at the same time. Well, that's what happens on the Sunday Race Cup because we have a staggered start for our categories. Category 6 going out to start pen first, 5 minutes before Category 5. Then Category 4 and Category 3, all at 5 minutes between. Category 2 then are 10 minutes behind Category 3. Category 1, the last race field away, 5 minutes after Category 2. It does mean that the later starting categories who are faster make the catch to the earlier starting slower categories, as we see here. It does also mean that we can normally cover all of our 6 race finishes because of that staggered start. Well, Category 6, who were the first riders out of the pen, now at the 41.1 kilometre marker, just 100 metres ahead of the Category 5 leading pack. Well, it's 100 metres, but it is uphill because they are both on the Spring Road climb. It is a bit of a stepped climb, and there are sections where it is pretty flat. But at the moment, we've got 9 riders in the leading group, 10, 11, 12. It's a big group of Category 6 riders all still together. Category 5, though, 4 riders now moving clear of the group. Martin Wang, Nicholas Hagland and Rod Loxley. The riders chasing behind, they are at 9 seconds. It's Vargas, Young, Streel and Wang who are riding away.
So the critical moments of this climb running from 37.5k right the way through those 10% gradient steep sections all the way up until you get to the 44.3 kilometer markers just before 200. It is 200. No, 700 meters. Let me get this right. My maths is terrible today. 44.3, so it's 700 meters. Emma's going to correct me in a moment.
No, I'm not going to correct you. I'm just going to let you carry on.
Thank you. 700 metres from the finishing line. It is a very interesting race finish, though, on the Spring Road climb. Finish here in California. Really key to get the timing right. And that timing is going to be right for Category 5 as they make the catch here on Category 6 at the moment. They're going to come up on our race leaders and make the way in and through. And this is a moment where you can really change the race because you're starting to see riders getting the draft. You're seeing those Watts numbers going into green. Philip Streel on the left-hand side of your screen in person. The Watts numbers on the centre of the screen in green as he gets some draft advantage. They're still travelling at 28 kilometres an hour. So that draft effect is very, very evident as you race at this pace. The gradient at the moment going from 3.5 up to 6% on that kick around the left-hand turn. And that's where you're seeing that better power to weight ratio that Category 5 have over Category 6 start to tell. Young, Wang and Streel at the moment with a little bit of a gap to Vargas. Vargas needs to make his way through the traffic here on course and get back up to the front of the race. The 3 leaders will become 4 leaders again, I think, in Category 5. They have got Rune Nielsen at the moment, just as the interloper in the mixed at the moment. And Nielsen taking advantage of having Category 5 riders to use it as a springboard to go clear. He's moved up into second place here at the moment as Young pushes on. And I think this is going to be where he's going to take the pace on. This is going to be very, very interesting. What can he do here? Can Nielsen make the most of this? Cadabona has answered him as well.
Well, Cadabona has answered. David Young is there. Nielsen, Wang, Vargas. It's a mix and match selection of Category 5 and Category 6 at the moment at the front of the race. And Young is the rider picking up the mantle. Streel is there as well. Nielsen is hanging on to the Category 5 4 riders who are leading the charge at the moment. And the rider from Denmark in Category 6, adamant he's staying at the front of the race.
Well, Nielsen using this to his advantage, this real disruption of the Category 5 hitting the Category 6 and using those race tactics. Really a great way to learn those tactics when you get caught and the pace that you need to go when you move up a category, because you literally get to race with those riders as they come in towards the finish. Vargas, Young, Wang, as well as Streel in that group. Nielsen is in there in Category 6. He's got Garces, he's got Jose. I was pretty close at the moment behind. We're going to just drop a little bit further back, though, because just coming out the other side at 35.9k, so just off the descent from Hawk Hills, Mr. X100 putting the pressure on. Now, he has got effectively what is going to be the 2k, He's going to get 37.5k. So there was the potential for 2k extra bit of run into our final climb. But I think at the moment, that's not going to matter. That group is going to come back up on to the heels here. Missed X100 with Phil Graves going over the top with Nikolai Damsgaard. Jeffrey Malloy is in here as well as the flags sort of fly over the riders going through this western part of town. Right-hand side, that's your leaders in category
Look at
2.
the
Category
size
1.
of that group.
Yeah, category 1 is not that size because we have got Michael Vink at the moment. He's the rider in the polka dot skin suit. Jason Osborne is in the green skin suit. So the climb leader and the sprint leader are together. They are our leaders on the road. They've got 20 seconds to the riders in 3rd and 4th place. They are the 2 chasers behind Osborne and Vink. That's Pucker and
Where did
Woo.
Knudsen go?
Not in that group. He's
look
further
at
back.
That. He's further
Yeah.
back. Okay, so we keep every time we drop in, there's a rider less in that chase group. 4 became 3, 3 became 2. So it's now Vink and Osborne, Woo and Pucker.
Very interesting to see. And that duo at the front, they can't play it 2K. Very interesting stats. I was just
taking a look. Do you know what? That gap is only 12 seconds.
It's not huge. It keeps on yo-yoing in and through. And I think what happens is that there's really good work being done here by Woo and by Pucker on the flatter section. They are keeping on pushing. The moment when they hit the climb,
2-up time trial
it starts to break up. And you've got to remember, I mean, Osborne and Vink is a bit like Vinigo and Pogacar. It's a real battle. Michael Vink has ridden 114 Sunday race clubs. Jason Osborne's ridden 107.
Wow.
Vink has 46 wins to Osborne's 40 wins. Vink has got 19 second places to Osborne's 11 second places.
Do you know what I'm thinking? Is I would love to... if anybody can do this before the end of the show and stick it in the chat on the MyWhoosh YouTube channel, that would be great. But if you could do the ratio of wins to entries for Osborne, Vink and McCarthy and tell me who comes out on top, that would be great.
I think McCarthy.
I was about to say, I think McCarthy must have it. But if someone could confirm that to me by doing a little bit of number crunching whilst we're on air, I would really welcome that.
Yeah, so if you wish to provide them with more stats, do feel free. A little bit further down, though, the trend is reversed for 3rd places because 1st and 2nd, Vink has the upper hand. 3rd places, Osborne has got 10 to Vink's 7. And in terms of 4th or 5th places, Osborne has 15 to Vink's 13. So very, very closely matched indeed, with the odds tipped in favour of Michael Vink in terms of the numbers. But remember, he has ridden 7 more in 114 races. So really interesting, those stats between them. Now, let's go back into the racing.
Yeah, 44.2 kilometres. They are 800 metres from the finish line. They're very shortly going to come underneath the polka dot banner, signifying the top of the final climb of the day. Martin Wang is pushing on in the Category 5 race. He's got Philip Striel for company. These 2 riders are 3 seconds clear of Young, 6 seconds clear of Vargas. The Category 5 race is ongoing, interwoven with the Category 6 race. Because Juan Garcias is here with, well, I was going to say but 5 seconds back, Rune Nielsen, Brian Jose, 9 seconds back. So we're going to see the Category 5 race and the Category 6 race come to the fore very quickly.
So here we go. This is this technical run into the finish. We've got a dip, we got a rise, we go through the canyon walls, and the sprint is at the end of a really tricky section. Tricky in the sense that you're getting the momentum right is key. Big sprint comes. Striel opens it up on the front. Wang is trying to respond to this in a Category 5. In Category 6, Garces is staying clear of Nielsen, but in Category 5, Philip Striel is trying to hold this to the line as Martin Wang comes at him at 10 watts per kilo. Can Wang close down Striel? He's coming on his right-hand side. In the blue comes Wang. He goes over the top of the polka dot skin suit wearer. Martin Wang takes victory in the sprint. He goes ahead of Philip Striel, who takes 2nd place, and it's going to be David Young, who's going to take 3rd place in Category 5. In Category 6, Juan Garces takes away race victory in category 6 as he goes in and over the line from Rune Nielsen, who takes second, and it's going to be Brian Jose who takes away third place. What a battle, what a finish, and it came down to that sprint through the canyon. That is just a mere soupçon of what is to come, because we are going to see that canyon be decisive for so many positions.
Well, Trent Stevenson currently leading the Category 4 race with around 850 metres to go. Perdancini is the rider leading the charge behind. Yun Yu Lin is in third place, 9 seconds back. Then it is Restrepo, but Stevenson is 3 seconds clear at the moment as he comes to the polka dot banner. But once they go underneath that banner, there is still 700 metres of racing to go.
But those 700 metres are going to go quick, and how quick is shown. We've already had 22 riders come over the line since we saw our race leaders come through. That is how closely packed these race fields. Almost the same number. In fact, there are 12 Category 5 riders, and now a further 11 Category 6 riders have already got over the line since we saw our winners come in. Now, Trent Stevenson with this lead to Perdancini. Perdancini is behind by 5 seconds, but this is all about getting the momentum right. Stevenson will know he's got to push on. If he's been watching that feed, it pays to know where the finish is. Perdancini is trying to close the gap down. Stevenson comes round this left-hand turn. It's a long way to the banner. It starts to appear, that UCI banner that signifies the end of the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club, the July qualifier, race number 2. And Trent Stevenson pushes until he's within sight of the line. He's taking victory here today in Category 4. It's going to be Perdancini who's going to take away second place in Category 4. And I think we're going to see a sprint come behind. And Kirchner goes over the top. He's going to take away the next position ahead of Morocco and Al Alami. So let's just get those positions confirmed. Stevenson in 1, Perdancini in 2, Kirchner in 3, El Alami in 4, and the riders coming flying through. Top 12 riders, now 13. Because Rimbaud goes through in 13th position in Category 4. Real fast finishes at the top of the climb. It's not splitting the riders so far. And look at the size of Category 2.
Well, Category 3 are on the right-hand side of your screen at the 43.4 kilometre marker, and Pierre is at the front of that race. But on the left-hand side of your screen at 40.2 kilometres, the bouncing pack of 30 riders in Category 2 all together. Well, Jason Osborne is putting a push on the climbing Category 1 here at 40.2 kilometres. He is now clear of Michael Vink, 12 seconds clear of Michael Vink. Osborne is climbing on the left-hand side of your screen. Vink is climbing on the right. Wu and Pucker, well, they are now further back down the climb. In fact, I think Wu has now dropped Pucker on the climb.
And that would be following what we would expect on a long climb on the way up here, with the strength of Wu on the climbs going ahead of Pucker, but there's still plenty of distance left for them to get up to the summit.
This is close.
This is a real battle. Nick Squilari and Damian Kisnowski are both very strong riders. They're both experienced riders who've taken plenty of wins before. Pedro Piera at the front at the moment. Well, can he go clear? Can he stay clear of these riders as he makes his way up here? This is going to be really, really telling, because Pedro Piera, the rider who has the race lead at the moment, he's going to need to keep on pushing as he goes up into towards the summit here. Can he stay clear of the riders behind? Well, he's got some strong riders chasing him.
Well, he has indeed. Nick Squilari is on the right. Pedro Piera is on the left. The race is coming in that Category 3 races. They've got 700 metres to the line. Jason Osborne, I tell you something, has just gone through the 30 riders at the front of the Category 2 race. Now this is a matter of who wants to stay with him or who could risk the mantle of staying with him. Phil Graves is trying to go. So is Betty and Bankston, Van He et al. They're all trying to hang on to the coattails of Jason Osborne. No hanging on to coattails at the moment for Piera. He has 400 metres to go. He's 11 seconds clear of Squilari. This is the Category 3 run for the line.
So Pedro Pereira, the rider from Portugal, he's been racing plenty of those cycling district league races on MyWhoosh. He's raced 6 Sunday race clubs, and this is going to be lucky number 7. He's made his own luck here today on the slopes of California. He's ridden clear to take a fantastic race victory here today for the cycling district squad. He goes in over the line. Pedro Pereira goes through, taking the win here today in Category 3. Behind him, Nick Scolari is going to take second place here today. He's opened the gap on Damian Kirsnowski. He will come across for third, and it's going to be a battle for fourth behind, I think, Vintner right in that mix as well. So a real fight in Category 3, but Pedro Pereira riding for Cycling District 3, taking the win in Category 3 ahead of Nick Scolari, Damian Kirsnowski, followed by Matthews Carmen and Ricky Kittle rounding out the top 5, and already 11 riders in Category 3, now 12 having gone across the line.
I know, the packs just keep rolling, and the Category 2 pack is rolling strong. Betty, Biarhead, Skierski, Graves, X100 and Bankston all at the front of that group as they push up the climb with 3K to go. But up ahead of them is the Category 1 leader now, Jason Osborne.
So a real battle unfolding. Category 2 here, Emma. This is a lottery with this many riders, and this...
The class of the riders is what makes it a lottery.
Well, it is, and you also add in the fact, or multiply it by the fact that the finish is so tricky in terms of getting momentum right, because it's not just the individual momentum, it's the bunch momentum once we hit the downhill where you are, because you go over into the canyon, it dips and it rises. And if this group is together, the positioning and using momentum and draft combined with the fact that you've got so many riders, combined with the dip, if this stays together as a group, you are really, really just so dependent on what happens in that group as to where you're going to finish.
Well, there are masters of momentum, tactics and strategy in this group. Mark Santo is on our screen at the moment. He's right in the mix there. And this now is about timing. There's 2.5 kilometers to go. They've still got to get to the top of this climb before they go through the canyon. And at the moment, there's 1 or 2 riders in here who will want to try and break clear before they get to the top. They do not want to take the sprinters in. And those riders now pushing on at the fore, and Ivan Nuki is the rider pushing on at the front with Betty as well. X100 is there, but the climbers are now starting to use their skill set. The rest of the riders, you can see the stretch on the group, but the group is not broken at the moment. But Ken is there, Jonas Bjarhead, Phil Graves, Anders Bengtsson, Paul Skierski. Skierski is one to watch. Betty is one to watch. Nuki needs to use the climb. There are stronger sprinters than Ivan Nuki, but Nuki with good legs, good climbing legs, could go well here.
And he sat on the wheel for a little while there, Mr. X100, who's right in the mix. Yuki starts to push. Coming on the right-hand side, Henry Oyo aware of the threat here. So is Giselle Betty. They know the danger of letting Yuki go. Betty comes up onto the shoulder there. So Nuki with a yellow bike there. Alongside him is Betty. Betty on the left-hand side of the Category 2 screen. And as they go in and through, Mr. X100 goes over the top of the pair of them. He's not going to let this pace drop. He's going to keep it hard. We are on with the race in Category 2. It's come alight as they've come towards the top of this climb, and they've still got a way to go. We're at 43.2 kilometers. Mr. X100, Ivan Nuki up there with Phil Graves, with Jonas Bjarhead, with Jeffrey Miller, with Peter Milosti, and that's a dangerous rider to take into a sprint finish.
I tell you, I wouldn't want to take Jeffrey Miller into a sprint finish either, or Burke or Khan Kayan, because those are 4 cracking sprinters. We've also seen some fabulous finishes from Tatu Coinston, and he took the win last week, and I tell you something, that was timed to perfection.
And that is going to be a key skill here. You can just see as we come up, we're going to go round this right-hand bend. It's going to level off just a little bit, and then it will kick again. And this is where you start to see a push. Mr. X100 pushes on here, comes into this flatter section. The pace will pick up here. And using this slightly flatter section here, we were talking 0.9%, 0.8%, 0.7%, use this as a springboard to accelerate through the group and sprint. The climbers need to use the uphill terrain. If you're not the strongest climber, you will want to get ahead. Give yourself some sliding room here. Peter Milostic moves up here with Mr. X100. They're at the front of the group as the gradient kicks in again to 5%. Remember, Category 2 leaders on the right-hand side of your screen are currently about 30 seconds down on the race leader in Category 1 as they make their way up here. Jason Osborne, the world champion, is making his way towards the polka dot banner. He will go underneath that banner first in Category 1. Then we're going to see the Category 2 leaders. Then we're going to see the chasers behind Osborne. As Osborne goes underneath, he pulls on the polka dot skin suit because he has got points from the 3 climbs so far. Right-hand side of your screen, Peter Milostic has kicked on over the top here, so he's going in towards that banner as well. And at the moment, Peter Milostic is putting in a big attack here in Category 2.
Well, he is indeed. And just saw Betty Palskirski, Jonas Bjarhead, Jeffrey Miller are all trying to match him. They're all trying to bring him back. They're trying to get onto the wheel. They know this is the run to the finish line, and the frantic battle here. Mark Santo is in the mix as well. So Milostic, Betty, Santo, Skirski, everybody is lining themselves up now as they come through for the finish. But Jason Osborne is going to see it first.
Here comes Jason Osborne, the world champion, bedecked in the polka dot skin suit, makes his way underneath the banner. The winner in Category 1 on a race to in July. It is Jason Osborne. Behind the sprint is unfolding, and you can see at the moment that Skirski wants to be back up with Peter Milostic, but Peter Milostic kicked hard. We saw him do that as they came over the top. Tattoo Coyson is starting to unleash the sprint here as well. Has he got enough to get back up to the front? How did he go over the top? Oh my goodness, it's a complete blanket finish as they go in and over the line there in Category 2. Peter Milostic takes it from Jeffrey Miller by 0.145 of a second. Milostic from Miller from Wozniak. They are your top 3 in Category 2. 4th place going to Grace. 5th to Bjarhead. Betty, followed by Santos, Skirski, Ken, along with Koistonen, Banks, and Mr. X100. Bert Ken comes through, Matthias Fanny. We have had 17 riders in Category 2 through. In between, the race winner Osborne and 2nd place Michael Vink. Vink comes through. He adds to his 2nd places. That's 20 2nd places for Michael Vink. 41 wins for Jason Osborne added into their tallies. Fantastic riding by our 2 leaders as Yunfei Wu makes his way up the climb. He's heading in towards that race finish at the moment, and it's not going to be long before he joins our leaderboard there.
Just come through.
So going in and through goes Wu. He takes 3rd place here, and you can just see that updating on your screens, but you can see those gaps. 1 hour, 5 minutes, 5.370 seconds, the time of Jason Osborne on the course today. 58.507 seconds ahead of Vink, and 1 minute 18.72 ahead of Wu. Course record, Emma?
Yes.
Ooh.
So Jason Osborne has just set a new course record of 65 minutes and 5 seconds, beating his old course record of 65 minutes and 24 seconds.
So, on form and flying at the front of the race.
19 seconds quicker.
A substantial amount at this level of sport. A fantastic qualifier race number 2 on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club in both our women's and men's races. If you've missed any of the race action, don't forget you can watch it back on the MyWhoosh YouTube channel. Please do follow at MyWhoosh on Instagram and on Facebook. You can follow me at Matt Fix the Pain or at biking_Emma for Emma Martin here in the studio with me. We've got lots of great racing coming up on MyWhoosh before we get into qualifier race number 3 with team time trials, with lots of different races, lots of the different community races as well. Do jump on board. Download the app on iOS, on Android, or on Windows. Don't forget, of course, to give us a follow on the YouTube channel, subscribe, and get notified whenever we go live. Get those registrations in for the MyWhoosh Championship. Don't leave it till tomorrow. Get it done now. And, of course, make sure you're back with us next week. We are going to be making a trip across to the UK, to the Full Speed Event Studios in the UK. And we will be back next week for qualifier race number 3. But from Emma, from myself, and from all the rest of the amazing team who are behind the scenes and you don't get to hear all the time, stay safe. We'll see you again soon.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.